I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledged knowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who regarded been using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? Welcome to the premiere Knicks in the Nighttime show, the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your man, the number one chief rockin' Knicks universe, Uncle Freezie. What's good? What's good? Salute to everyone. Alfonso Scott is in the building. Andios, what's good, man? I see you. Corey Lee is in the building. I see you. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. What's good? Will Salkin in the place to be. What's good, man? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is in the building. DB Big Task at Hand is in the building. What's good? Jay's Beers is in the building. Okay. Big Buddy in the building. What's good? What's good, y'all? Yo, the Saint Wise is in the house. What's good? Marshall L, what's good? Ralph Unreal is in the building. All right. Yo, Wapo all the time. What's good? What's good, y'all? Trini, Mega, what's good? D Nice in the building. Salute everybody. Yo, let me start by saying, man, that Jalen Brunson cat is one heck of a player, y'all. This dude, Jalen Brunson, is somebody. I ain't gonna send no shots at Quiet Money, but Quiet Money, hey, that man is somebody, boss. Salute to my guy, Quiet Money. That's my guy right there. That's my brother. Salute to Quiet Money. But yeah, man, Jalen Brunson is that dude, y'all. Jalen Brunson, man. Damn. Jalen Brunson is in the building, man. Jalen Brunson was good. Man, Bully in the building. So I got Coach backstage. I'm gonna get something off my chest first, and then I'm gonna bring Coach just up real quick, y'all. So just really quick, a few things. Congratulations to Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson for making the 2024 All-Star game. Even though we know Randle won't play, Trey Young will probably be his injury replacement, but so what? Julius Randle being selected is quite an accomplishment. The Knicks can say that they have a 3-time All-Star at power forward. And that alone changes the way you think about what Julius Randle has done as a New York Knick. That by itself, Jalen Brunson being selected as an All-Star means that's everything to us. That's everything. The Knicks, the New York Knicks having a All-Star at the guard position, that's everything for us. So we beat Indiana. Indiana came out with all the false bravado, getting in people's face and all that stuff. That's what teams do when they know they're outmanned, and then they eventually lose. But this was a very compelling game. A very compelling game. A team with lesser heart would have just gave up. Right? Man, Precious Achua's defense on Pascal Siakam. Maybe we have to have that conversation too. Maybe we have to have that conversation. Is he a keeper? Precious out there getting like Precious Achua got half the rebounds in the universe, and Hartstein grabbed the other half. So it's a lot. It's a lot for us to talk about tonight. I'm gonna bring Coach up, man. Coach, how you doing, bro?
Ooh-wee. Man, salute
Salute.
on a night where we were graced with being told that we have two all-stars. One of the all-stars showed why he should have been there.
Bim.
And I got to tell you what, there was a time in that fourth quarter when we took that little lead and then Brunson went down. The thing is, when he's facing adversity, because we all saw what happened with the refs, we'll be talking about that, I'm sure. Instead of getting up all up in his own head, he just went down and banged one in. And I got choked up. I couldn't believe. I thought we were done. Anyone that was watching that game for the first 2.5, almost 3 quarters, you can't tell me like, oh man, it's finally gonna happen. We're gonna lose one. And then all of a sudden, we gave Brunson and Hart a little break. And Deuce and the second unit not only kept us close, they brought us back. And I'm just looking at the screen. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, I can't believe this. Is this real life? How many times in the past have we just folded in games like this? We have the finisher we need because that's what it's all about, finishing. We got guys bringing the energy no matter who's in. It's contagious.
Right. Coach, let's bring our guy up real quick. Let's bring our guy up real quick to join us in the conversation. Yo.
All them other fans, NBA fans, got nothing to say. They forgot about Trey.
Yo, salute. I told you, Freezie, I wasn't just ready just yet. I just joined, but I'm gonna get to it. Just give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
get to this conversation. Just give me 5 minutes. You guys can.
So I'm gonna give a shout out to Dre on this part. Man, about 3/4 away in, even a little bit in the fourth quarter. Man, I was cussing at that screen at Josh Hart, thinking about Dre. I'm like, oh, I'm sure Dre's just saying, I told you. Because, man, Josh Hart was just, every time he's got the ball in his hands, like he's a walking cardiac Nick.
Right.
That dude, every time he's handling the ball, throwing weird passes and shit. But, hey, one of the things, we can just talk about so many people in this game. I mean, the amount of energy and the amount of just hustle and grit that our guys showed in this game on every possession. Like I can't believe that we have. I don't know if there's another group of big men in the league that have like the stamina and the just I don't know, man. Just it seems like our guys don't get tired.
Right.
Like it's got to be. It's just got to be frustrating for other coaches to know that our fives, our big guys and our fours can just run the court. They can cover. They even though sometimes they might take a wrong step and get beat a little bit, they never give up on the play and they're contesting the shot. I mean, how many little tips and grazing block shots and just contested shot, we were a little suspect in that first quarter, but the last 3 quarters we shut it down. Period. But we just showed why right now the Knicks are playing the best defense in the league against the number 1 offense. That was basically our defense kept us in the game, and then our shooting, nothing would fall. But when it mattered, we had guys finish. We kept giving ourselves second chances with all them offensive boards with Hart and Precious and Hart here and there. We got 3 guys with double-digit rebounds. I mean, there's not enough good things to say. I mean, wine and 9. It's 9 in a row.
Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I'm excited about the win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly more excited that we got 2 players into the All-Star game. I'm also excited that I got to see some things strategically. Chat, we saw something strategic tonight, and not to get too basketballsy, but one of our main Achilles heels is that when we play super big wing players, we never had a guy to defend them. We always had to put either Mitchell Robinson or Quentin Grimes on them, like no in-between guy. And tonight, Precious Achiuwa showed you that he can guard jumbo wings like Siakam.
We just had to get 2 of them from the Raptors,
right?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Do you think that helped Precious against Siakam because they played together so long?
No.
I'm not saying strategy-wise or just like mindset.
No. I think it's just you never got to see that out of Precious Achiuwa for one, because he played for another team, and 2, you never saw him guard Siakam. It's what I told. It's what I told Dre months ago. The role that I wanted to see Jericho Sims in that role where he guards big jumbo wings. And I think we saw tonight that now we have a guy that can do it. Now, I'm not saying he's going to lock down Giannis, but what I am saying is, so having that piece that we were missing, we can add that to the rest of the things that we have defensively. And I think it makes us better overall. I've been saying for months that I don't think Jericho Sims is an NBA center. I think he's just a big, like big that could probably maybe do some wing stuff too. Not dribble, not shoot, not any of that stuff. But I'm talking about showcase his elite athleticism. And we saw Precious Achiuwa do some of that stuff tonight against Pascal Siakam. And I'm all here for it. I wish we can get more of it.
I mean,
he cut, like Pascal came out like he was ready to score 30, and we cut his water off. Well, Precious cut his water off for the most part. It just made him look extremely awkward and kind of frenetic with his pacing with the ball. And
Right.
it has to do with like Precious is extremely physical while being mobile. Like he moves his feet extremely well
Right.
on the defensive end. So usually the thing that Pascal has over guys that guard him, he's usually either more physical than them or
Right.
faster than them. And he's
Right.
neither against Precious.
Yeah, it's neither against Precious. Yeah. Yeah.
So he just ended up taking like awkward fadeaways and like little like flip shots because he couldn't get all the way to the rim like he normally does. His
Right.
spin move wasn't working because he would spin and he would just run right into Precious's chest anyway. Like it Precious might actually be the backup for, like straight up, just the backup for. Like whenever
Yeah.
we get healthy and those minutes that we're gonna probably load manage Randall eventually, we're gonna
Right.
like there's gonna be 18 minutes out there just for Precious to have. Play Randall 28 to 30
Right.
minutes eventually.
And coach, and the reason why I say no is because in past years we had Obi Toppin, and even Obi on those guys was not a good look.
No, they would just get around
They
him.
were just too physical for Obi, and we tried Grimes on guys like that. And what I'm talking about is an archetype like the Kyle Kuzmas, the Pascal Siakams, the Giannis's, you know what
Jeremy
I'm saying?
Grant's, those types of guys.
Yeah.
Not
LeBron
even
James.
Giannis. But if you're a big wing and you can score inside and outside, you give guys like Obi problems because he has to pick one. He can't take away both. He has to pick. He has to pick either running you off the line, or if he's sitting back, he's just gonna let you shoot because Obi is just too stiff and upright. He just doesn't have the lateral mobility on top of the strength. Like the combination of the two, you need both to be an elite defender.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say that Precious is gonna lock down everybody, but the amount of effort and physicality that he puts out tonight was an extremely physical game. The refs were terrible.
Yeah, the
I
refs were
want,
terrible, coach.
and I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, man.
We benefited at times during the game, but they
Towards
also
the
benefited.
third quarter,
Yeah.
we benefited.
The thing is, we still had so many more free throws than them, but there still could have been more. Definitely.
It would like it should have been more. Like Brunson should have took 20 free throws tonight.
I mean, the most egregious one of them all was when the Pacers took that late lead, and
Brunson got hit in the face, and
karate chopped in between the eyes or on the eye.
Yeah, let me bring in my man Lee real quick. Hold on, everybody. Yeah, man. Lee, what's good,
up,
bro?
Corey?
Salute.
Salute.
Give me a second. Let me fix my headphones.
Yeah, well, you don't need to go ahead and fix your stuff. Go ahead and fix your stuff, bro. But coach, the foul you were saying about Jalen Brunson getting hit late or getting hit throughout the game, you can tell that there was a level of not physicality, but a level of cheap shot and trash talk, chippiness in the game. Like the play where Dante DiVincenzo got the tech for Halliburton standing there in his face, yelling and screaming in his face.
That should have been a double tech to me.
That should have been the tech for taunting for one. Because the play was his team was retreating down the floor and Halliburton was standing there in that man's face. So there was some there is some levels to it.
It's one of those things where teams come and play the Knicks and they know the Knicks play a certain brand of physicality, so they try to match up with our physicality, right? And they overdo it, and then you can't call a foul on every play, so it puts refs in a bind.
Right.
So like we hate that it is what it is, but if it's going to be a physical game and they let the refs and the refs don't call everything, we're going to benefit because down the
Yeah,
line we just
as
have
towards the end
more.
of the game, the Knicks are
Yeah,
going to benefit.
we're going to benefit because number one, we're giving you body blows after body blows,
Right.
even on a shorter rotation. We beating you up over the course of the game, and,
Right.
and that really shows and weans. Are you really this physical, or are you physical when you're juiced up off the Gatorade at the beginning of the game?
Right. Right. Hey, hold on for a split second, everybody. Yo, what's up, fellas?
Bully.
What's up? What's up?
Smoking Nick. What up, bro?
Smoking Nick.
What it do, family?
What's
Freezie.
good, man?
Yo.
PSK,
Right.
salute,
Yeah, man.
CF.
Smoking Nick is in the building.
salute, bully.
Yeah.
What up, homeboy?
So
What
yeah, man.
about-
So
What
yeah,
up,
it's,
man?
it's
Yo,
like
what
a
up, Smoke?
thousand things for us to talk about. We can talk about the Knicks having two All-Stars at the same time,
Yes,
right?
sir. Congrats.
For one, when's the last time the Knicks had two All-Stars on an All-Star team at the same time, right?
And real all stars, not
Chandler Miller.
like I'm not that Tyson Chandler isn't a real all star, but Tyson Chandler got in because we won a ton of games. These guys that we talking about, Randall and Brunson, they're productive in any scenario situation. They're in the
They're
prime
legit.
of their careers.
They're legit.
Right. Yeah.
They're both gonna be perennial type guys. Randall's basically perennial right now, but
Yeah.
Brunson is eventually gonna be one of those guys that you just pencil in for the next 5-6 years.
Mhm.
Also, period.
So I'm gonna finish my list real quick, and then we can come back to that. But the Knicks have two All-Stars, and I think we can revisit the Jalen Brunson MVP conversation. Remember, you guys talked to me about that the other night, and I was like, nah, man, relax. Remember that? So that's something else that maybe we can touch on. Too, the fact that we beat our rivals. Also, it appears that Tom Thibodeau pressed all the right buttons tonight. So is Tom Thibodeau getting better as a coach, or are the buttons he pressing finally doing the job that they're supposed to do? And do the way they look tonight, do you really need to trade for anybody, or just see what happens when everybody comes back healthy? Before we get into that, though, I want to read the super chats real quick. Sincere to Genius, thank you for the generous contribution. He says we don't have a 1A, we have the one. And Andios, thank you for your generous contribution. He says it's looking like we already have a superstar. Bam. Bam.
Freezie, I was gonna say, not to take away too much from your point, but how many guards in the league can get 40 with just one 3-pointer and be efficient?
Not many.
How many guards can get 40 with just one 3-pointer? And he's not athletic, by the way.
It's a dude on the West Coast that played for Golden State.
I said with one 3-pointer.
Got you. My bad. Got you.
Steph Curry, when he gets 40, he has 5 or 6 or 7 3-pointers.
Minimum.
This is a fact. This is a fact.
Yeah.
That's not the norm for a guy his size. or any guard 6'7". Like unless you're SGA, that's about it in terms of guards, and he's a big guard, so it's almost hard to compare. But yeah,
Right.
you can go to your
Okay.
point, Freezy. My fault.
No, yeah, okay.
So
Oh, you got something? Oh, you had Dre. You had something else?
No, that was it. You can go ahead. Go ahead, Freezy.
No, I know. Okay. All right.
Oh, but Uncle Freezie, shout out to you and whatnot. I just want to make a quick point because I got to go lay it down. I got to land the plane. But I just wanted to make a real quick statement about the whole game before I let y'all rock, and I'm gonna be listening in the background and stuff. But I just wanted to say this, man. This team, this team is incredible. I ain't gonna front. I felt Brunson emotion and whatnot today when I seen that because we this was a knockout, drag 'em out fight to get the lead and then take the lead and then win the game. Even when homeboy got smacked upside the dome piece, he still came out and made the score and everything. And then everybody started showing up. As far as PA, Precious, and you had Deuce, and you had I mean it was a collective win and stuff like that. And I'm very, very proud of this team, and I ain't gonna front. You can definitely see where we miss OG and we miss Randall, and we definitely miss Grimes to a certain extent and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they found a way to win that game. And you just asked that, did Tibbs, is he changing or did he push the right buttons? I think tonight, man, he hit a home run. He hit a grand slam tonight. Whatever he did or how he was feeling, yeah, it was a couple of mistakes. Deuce, he fouled out. I mean, not fouled out, but he fouled early. As soon as he got in the game, he caught a foul. And you seen what he said out his mouth. But I think he made the right moves tonight. It's something different about this team, and I'm going to ride that wave. I'm all for it. I want Randall to hurry up and come back, or take his time to come back, and so as OG, so we can keep building up these wins. And I don't know. It's just something different about this team, y'all. For real, for real. I mean, that's my take. I'm gonna fall back and stuff like that. But this is a good win for us, man. It shows character, definitely. I like it.
yeah, well, like the thing is, we I don't know if it's as much that Tibbs made the right moves.
Hmm.
It may be more that Tibbs. I mean, I guess he kind of didn't have a choice. He finally let some of these other guys get enough run to see what they can do. They talked about how Deuce in the post game. He talked about how Deuce they knew he can do this in practice. He's always banging them threes in practice. He was saying, and he just hadn't had a chance to get the minutes to show how he can do it in the game.
Hmm.
And now he is. So I guess addition by subtraction with he's doing a lot of the things that we want quickly to do now. He's defending the backcourt and he's banging some threes at a more efficient rate than Quick was, IQ was. So what else? As far as expectations of Deuce, I think he's exceeding his expectations. Because I don't think we were expecting him to do this, were we?
I'm just proud of the whole team as a collective, man.
Anybody?
I no, but I think he's probably sparking at the right time, man. The more opportunity, the more that he can do, that he show improve.
It's almost like I hate that this happened, like these little guys banged up and injuries, but it almost
It's gonna help in the
it's
long
going to
run.
help us in the end because as long
Mm.
as it ain't season-ending injuries, because it's getting these other guys enough run where they're comfortable if they have to get in a spot. So that's just that. Then you're talking when you're 8, 9, 10 deep with guys you don't mind being on the floor. You're going to be tough to beat.
Yep.
So shout out to getting these boys prepared. I mean, we got a lot of guys that have been in in this system now for 2-3 years. So, let's see what happens. I'm happy, that's for sure. I'm just in shock, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I thought we were dead to rights in that game. Some of y'all can't say we weren't. Then all of a sudden, it's just, we're making some stops. Oh, we're creeping back.
Turned around for sure.
It felt so good, man. I was texting Greeny from LI and Freezie when they started coming back. I'm like, oh my God, are you watching this? Yeah, man. I was getting teared up. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a real passionate guy, man. I was getting real teared up. And then when we finally finished it off and they interviewed Brunson at the end, he was getting choked up, and I felt it, man. He was all that hard work and all the doubters, it all came to fruition for him, tonight. Being named an all-star, then putting a performance like that. Yes, sir. I'll smoke to that.
Okay.
The Godfather.
About that.
What about you, Nick? SK, what's good, bro?
I'm awesome. How are you, sir?
Oh man, I can just tell you got that smile.
I feel like we all should be grinning at this point, right? We
Hell
got a complete team. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I know people keep saying, what other moves should we make, man? I think chemistry is more important than moves and stuff like that. The chemistry is exactly where we need it to be. The feng shui is high. You feel me? Everybody is yin and yanging right now. So I appreciate what I see. It's one of the best Knicks teams I've seen in a very, very long time. And it feels like I've been saying that a lot lately. So I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
100%. Shout out to Jalen Brunson and shout out to Julius 3-time Randall. You feel what I'm saying? But let's put some respect on that. You already know what time it is with B. You feel me? Try to tell him first time they say the first time was a fluke. What they gonna say about the third time? You feel me? It's starting to look like a what they call it, a pattern. Yeah, that's what that's starting to look like. Yeah, shit like that. Oh, excuse my French.
What happened?
That's dope, man.
What happened to you guys are saying that we should have been using Obi instead? Get the hell out! Get the hell on with that.
Salute to Obi, man. He's trying to do the best.
Josh Hart, he got a 6'4" power forward blocking him. Remember that? That was a nice D. That was some nice D on that one.
I mean, I mean, them dudes just came out. They found the way to win the game, man. I'm really proud of this team, man. I really have no words, man. I'm very, very happy, man.
Shout out to Achua and Hartenstein. They was literally saying every rebound is ours tonight. Yeah, they was literally little men and cats. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, they wanted everything. They wasn't trying to give nothing.
A couple of them, those two.
I respect that kind of hustle because it's a Thursday night and they going hard like it. You know what I mean? I respect that.
I was very proud, man.
Them two dunk backs, boy.
That
surprised me.
Yeah,
8 offensive rebounds. That's crazy.
But bro, you know what set the tone for me when? I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead, bro.
Real quick, you know what kind of really when I seen that it was going to be a turnaround, and I know it's probably a little earlier in the game in the first quarter, is when was it Halliburton? Yeah, Halliburton dunked in front of Dante, and he kind of give him that set like, "Yo, Duke, man, get out of here!" Like, I like that. That like, man, come on, man, not today, not today. Even though we down or whatever, y'all running amok on us, but not today, bro. And then when they started coming back in the first stages of the third quarter, bam, I felt it. And then they did it. They did it. I mean, I'm very proud of them cats, and I hope OG come back for LA. Seriously, I want to do them dirty too. But right now, I want to savor this win right here because it was hard fought. Like it.
Yeah, and then to piggyback on Freezie, what he was saying about the job Achua did on Siakam, because once we settled in and figured out because Siakam knew he had that blow by advantage on them guys, so he was really starting to push for that. And then we finally found a way to kind of get in front of them, disrupt them. And it was a nice little turning point hustle play where they kind of poked the ball from Siakam, and we had like 3 Knicks swarming them. Like Hart's hand was in between his leg, and Josh Hart were like, oh, everyone was there. And we got the ball, you know. But it's just little moments like that just give everyone else that vibe and that energy, man. I just love the grit, man. It's just
we got a real team of players that actually play for each other. You know, it's cliche and people say stuff like that, and you know what I mean. But when you actually see it coming into fruition, and you actually see dudes that actually like each other, they go to bat for each other, not just saying it in words, but actually on the basketball court, right? And this is what you're seeing, and this is how we get wins like this when you're down the whole game, but they still want to win, and they never give up, and they fight to ultimately get the W. Is because they didn't give up and they listened to each other and they actually, you know what I mean, feng shuiing, like I said. 100%.
And they're like, you know, it looks like they're genuinely picking each other up. Like, because, you know, Josh Hart was having a little tough time shooting today, you know, and he kind of grazed the rim on another 3, and then that's what one of the putbacks were for iHeart. And he had that little and one opportunity, and you saw in the middle of his celebration, he pulled away from himself and gave some support to Josh Hart, like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's like little things like that that I like to notice as a fan, as a coach, like just players doing those little things to pick each other up. You know, and on another, you know, since I got this guy behind me, led the team tonight with 6 assists, you know, with 17, 18 boards. I mean, Precious had like 3 or 4 steals, a couple blocks. I mean, you can't say enough for guys like the next man up. And you know, a lot of coaches say that coach speak, but we're legit doing next man up right now. Big time. So
how about this, fellas? I got something to say real quick. Besides the fact that we believe that Jalen Brunson is, you know, MVP caliber type of year, but how about Dante as MIP? Because nobody thought he was gonna come in here and do this type of thing as a starter. You know, even though, you know, we kind of counting the chicken before they hatch, but I'm thinking like this dude is like MIP, and I did not see this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I wasn't big on him coming here. I didn't think he was going to contribute much. But you know, I like to say, yeah, I stand corrected, and I'm wrong. And the one thing I don't mind doing is admitting that I'm wrong about that young man right there. And shout out to Precious again because he really showed me something because I thought he was just a filler, you know what I'm saying, a throw in, you know, in his trade. So, you know, again, I want to say I was wrong. And I do not mind it. And I'm happy. Extremely proud.
Eddie Pendergrass, what are your thoughts?
I'm good, bro. You?
Me personally, bro, I'm super ecstatic, bro, to be honest with you. Like, New York Knicks having quality basketball every night. When I talk the mess that I talk, I can stand on it. It's elating. Yo, I couldn't even, like, I got so many different words that I could just describe how I feel right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was watching this game and I really like had this. I see Jalen Brunson. Like, I'm like, yo, this dude is like, I don't even think we understand how much of a dog this dude is. Like, he's a dog, like a wolf. I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, son, we got multiple real dogs on the squad, not fake ones, not puppies, not chihuahuas, not all bark, real bite. Real bite.
Hmm.
My girl did that same thing, Coach. When I said we got real dogs, she barked. She barked. That was funny. She barked. She was like, "Whoa." And
I
I'm
want
like,
to.
yo, because I'm watching this man and I see it in his face. I'm like, yo, he loves it. He wants it, bro.
Y'all ever see
We
Paul
lucky,
Pierce?
bro. I ain't gonna lie. We lucky. We better appreciate what we got because we lucky right now, man.
Y'all ever see that Paul Pierce KG little podcast or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
They had that little conversation about the dogs. That they mentioned a couple of Knicks, which was cool before, and this is before even what's they doing now. You know,
Paul Pierce was hating, talking about Julius Randle's not a dog or Jalen Brunson weren't dogs, and KG had to
KG
go to
was
the
standing
side
up
and
for him.
get him right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then
One
he
thing I
kind of came
noticed with
around.
KG, yeah, one thing I noticed about KG when he retired, he'd never been a hater. When
This KG a dog, so he gonna tell you what a dog is.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm
But
saying? And
yeah, go ahead.
regardless, right? We can. It's all good. Julius Randle is who he is. He ain't perfect, but he a dog. You can't take that away from a dude. No matter if you ain't gotta like what you see. It's production. It produce. It gets the win. So you ain't gotta like it, but it bring the money home.
But Freezie, you were switching gears, and I wanted to know what you were talking about before I rudely interrupted you. My fault, Freezie.
Nah, man. Nah, I'm good, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, it's actually this is actually more impressive to me because we beat they were relatively for the most part they were healthy. They had their full rotation outside of when they took Halliburton out because of his hamstring, and they could never really pull away from us. We were we were down three starters. Yeah, three starters tonight
Right.
from our original rotation in terms of or a projected rotation, and they could just never put you away. And when you have like a true All NBA type player, true All NBA type players keep you in games no matter what, even if he's down his running mate. If you have a top 15 type player, or you have two of them, and one is out, that's when the other has to rise to the occasion and help bring you home. And if you have a true top tier talent, no matter what's actually happening on the court, you're gonna be in the game because they raise their level, they raise their teammates' levels, and Jalen Brunson did that. And also in the non Jalen Brunson minutes, I want to give Deuce McBride credit. He may not be consistent in his offense, but he was everything that we needed. We needed every last bucket that he got. Like there were two times in the fourth quarter we got down 8, we got down 7, and we needed those threes to just keep us alive and stifle their momentum because they were scoring relatively decently, and then Deuce hit a couple threes, and that completely changed the momentum, and then we just
And
stifled
Dre,
their offense.
I gotta elaborate on what you're saying. I'm not gonna lie. I think Deuce a little better at breaking down the defense than Quickly was. Feel me? He make those moves. He could get to the basket. I know he ain't got the floater and stuff like that, but he did hit a couple acrobatic shots today, or whatever the case may be. But when you just look at his handle and him being able to get anywhere he wants on the court, he can actually do that. So
But the thing is with him that's not consistent. I think we've been. I think the coaching staff has been telling him and his teammates have been telling him to just be aggressive. In prior games, his confidence wavers. If he's not hitting the three, he's not really getting you much anything else. Tonight, he attacked the rim
no, this
multiple
the
times.
best I've seen him look as a Knick
Yeah,
tonight.
but in other games, he would get like to the free throw line extended. He wouldn't know what to do. He would pick up his dribble. He would give the ball up, and then that would stagnate the offense. Whereas, for better or worse, or quickly, he learned how to like not pick up his dribble every single time. He would go downhill. He would probe the defense. If he didn't create an advantage, he would kick it back out. Whereas sometimes it would stagnate. But this is the best Deuce looked tonight, and he played with Brunson some minutes as well, which is something we
I
don't
think
see
I
too
think I
often.
think I think McBride is more free flowing because even though he's not like shot hunting, you feel me? He's more like just going with the flow. Quickly was more like shot hunting. So he'd be over dribbling a lot. You know what I mean? Because if he can't get his move or his floater or get into his three, he'd be over dribbling and slowing up the offense in that kind of way. You know, making it stagnant.
I'll say this: I don't want to get too into the analytic part, but like when in the lineups where Deuce is the lead guard, I think like we have like the worst offensive rating in the NBA. But in that same token, we're like a plus 20 in net rating because teams are only scoring 82 points in 100 possessions because the defense is so good. It kind of outweigh like we might stagnate, we might score 3 points, or we might score 3 points over 5 minute stretches, but we're also holding that the other team down in that same process. So like even we've seen time and time again, like over this winning streak, we've had multiple times, several times where we just couldn't get a field goal or go in for 3 or 4 minutes, but the defense has been so stifling, it just doesn't matter. It's like okay, we'll just hold our ground for right now until Brunson or whoever comes back in the game, and we'll get a surge from them. Like it's almost like a running game. Basically, it's like if you don't have the pass, just keep even if you're running for 2.5 yards a carry, just keep just keep running. Stick to it. Eventually, the play action will come out and help you out. But you have to commend Tibbs to putting these units together and having
Hmm.
these guys on a string defensively. Like Precious just got here. I don't know how. Like, well, he's been with coaches that have had good defensive acumen in terms of Nick Nurse and Spo. So I guess maybe the adjustment for him wasn't too bad, but
Hmm.
it's still impressive when you come from another team and you acclimate
Dre,
yourself this well
that,
defensively. Like you gotta give Precious credit on his
Dre,
own. Yeah.
does any of them coaches connect with Tibbs when you say Spoelstra and the other cat, Nick Nurse? Did
What do you
they,
mean?
meaning, did they ever coach on a team together, any capacity or something like that?
They've been on Team USA together, I believe.
Okay, that's about it.
Spo and
Okay,
Tibbs, not Nick Nurse, but Spo and Tibbs. Spo and
mm,
Tibbs have been on Team USA at the
I
same
got
time.
it. Got it.
So that's been a thing. But in terms of like complicated defenses and switching and all these other things that these guys are known for in terms of blitzing and double teams, I think Tibbs has also picked up like, and he's been coaching to our players' strengths on that end. And he knows that we have more guys that can switch and can be physical. So he's not against trapping as nearly as much. If you've noticed,
Hmm.
like we trap way more because we got guys that can fly out to the perimeter, communicate well. Like if you notice at the beginning of the game, we were struggling with communication badly. Then we adjusted, we slowed them down, and we damn near held them under 100 after like the first 6 minutes of the game. They scored 23 points. The next 42, they scored 83 points or 82 points for the rest of the game. That's very impressive in today's era where
Hmm.
everybody's getting 120 a night.
Hmm. But fellas, on that note, man, I gotta land my plane, man. I gotta get up in the morning. But man, yo, nice win, man. Real gritty, nice
Absolutely.
win, and it was dope, man. I just love the way they came back, man. It looked like we was gonna lose, and they just Brunson was definitely he was the straw. He was destroying the drink, and he did what he had to do, y'all. And
He was
I,
not
I
trying to
I'm
let
very
us
proud.
lose.
Yeah, I was very, very proud of him, and I felt his emotion when Han Solo was talking to him and stuff like that. It was a dope game, for real.
Yep, yep, yep,
Smoke,
yep.
Tim, Corey Lee, homeboy, Dre, Coach, Big Brother Freeze.
Salute,
I'm gonna lay it down, kid. I see y'all. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Peace, God.
Salute, bully.
Peace, peace, y'all. One.
salute, 100. I'm not gonna lie, man. We got a lot to be proud of, fellas. Our team works hard. They grit. They grind. You feel me? They thug it out. They scratch. They claw. They everything we
Teams don't
talk about. They give us. You
teams
know what
don't
I
play
mean?
like this no more. Uh,
Say again?
teams don't play like this no more. Smoking it.
No. teams do play like this. It's called the Knicks.
But I'm just comparing them to everybody else.
Nah, you can't come. We don't do what other people do. We do what we do. You feel me? We require certain things, and that's what we get out of our teams. You feel me? Teams ain't got to play like this. We play like this. You feel me?
Yeah. And I think us
Right.
having all these home games and helping guys build confidence. I think it's unfortunate that Randall got hurt, but I think him getting time to just get off his legs, like other parts of his body need rest too. Like he plays extremely physical, not just his shoulder. Like he might need to get off his ankles and get a refresher and get his legs back together for the rest of the season.
Nah.
When he comes back,
I see where you coming from, but he was in dominating mode, so he really wasn't worried about. You know what I mean? That ankle got healthy, and you seen what he did. He earned that 3 times. So you feel what I'm saying? I think it's a minor setback, and it's not going. You know what I mean? I'm glad it's not as severe as it. You know what I mean? It could have been. You know what I mean? God willing. You know, but I just like the fact that you're peaking at the right point, and even if you know you need your little hiccups to come mid-season and stuff like that, so we could continue to peak and get to the point, because we ain't hit our apex yet. You feel what I'm saying? So I think me, to be honest, man, this ain't looking like an ECF team. This looking like a championship squad, regardless if we win it or not. I'm just saying what we look like. You feel me? We look like we got everything right.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel
I'm
you.
just keeping it real.
The only reason I said that is because Tibbs has said, like, no matter what it is, Randall will play through anything. And if you notice, when we got to the playoffs last year, even when he had the ankle, he was nursing other things too. And at some point, like, these guys are human, man. Like, even I think Randall could benefit from just taking 3-4 weeks just off his legs, not even just his shoulder. I'm not saying we don't need him or that he can't play through it.
No, you saying the rest. You saying he need rest.
I'm saying, like, if I put it this way, if the reverse happened and Randall was balling while Brunson was out nursing an injury, we saw tonight it's the type of physicality that he goes through on a night to night. And he's battling, like, he has wrapped up hands and all these other parts of his body wrapped up. Like, sometimes these dudes need a break. And to that point, Brunson has kept putting the team on his back right now while Randall's in the wings healing up in that hyperbolic chamber, because he's gonna come back and be who he is.
I think technically, you know, we could say the same. It's vice versa, because when Brunson was hurt last year, Randall kind of put the thing on his back.
Saying.
So I'm not even comparing and contrasting. What I'm saying is like, this is how you know you got real dogs, because these dudes is going to do what they do normally. You know what I mean? They're not really focused on, they need each other because they play great together. You see how it is. But when one ain't got the other, they still going to do what they supposed to do. They show up they lunch pail kids, man. They show up every day.
Taking on the identity of the coach. So
no, those are the type of players they are. Y'all could put it on Tibbs.
I'm saying, yeah.
Those are the type of dudes they are. Not everybody that's went through Thibodeau's system react this kind of way. That's why we ain't got RJ no more, right?
No, hold on. You're right. I'm saying, like, we got guys that fit what Tibbs loves, but that's who they are already. Tibbs is just gonna heighten who they already are.
Correct. He just enhancing. He's like blush on a pretty chick. You feel me? She don't need that much. You know what I mean?
But you got to get a man credit though. I'm not gonna say
defensive schemes and the way he motivates. I think I don't need to give him credit, because I've been giving him credit. I think the haters and the people that have been calling for his job and stuff like that need to give him credit, right? The detractors and the ones that's always living in the glass half full realm is the people that need to give him credit. Me, I've been seeing these things and been talking about these things. You feel me? I'm not saying that I'm like Mr. Cleo and nobody else sees what's going on.
Right? Smokes Stradamus.
So do we think
facts?
get back on track a little bit of some of this other stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we think that this has also been a blessing in disguise? That
Most definitely.
with the play of Precious, now are we starting to feel a little more comfortable with him spelling at the 4, as well as, and Sims in only 13 minutes of play, he had 4 offensive boards and 3 blocks.
I like his physicality, and he's definitely a defensive, like, you know what I mean? He's definitely what they would call like a brick wall there. He ain't got the like offensive moves or whatever the case may be, and I'm not really into him shooting threes like that, but I do like his rebounding and that physicality. So he might not like have the skills of a Randall to put it in, like with the ball skills or whatever the case may be, but he's still a physical, tough body, and he ain't got like Sims jumping capability or whatever the case may be, but he's still like defensively, like you were saying earlier, when he was like Pascal got a couple moves on him and then he tightened down in those last 3 possessions, got 2 blocks and like a steal. So stuff like that, you know what I mean? It shows that he's capable of holding his own. You know what I mean? He damn near played the whole game. Would he play 44 minutes or something like that?
Crazy.
Yeah, Precious had 43 minutes.
Come on, so he didn't even take a break, my man. He didn't even get a drink of water.
We ran a 6.5 man rotation.
With that man like 14 rebounds and 12 points or something like that.
And you know what? Keeping us in the game, Malachi Flynn. Like we may not like appreciate it or think about it, but we went down pretty early, and Malachi Flynn helped stabilize us in the first half.
Yes, he did.
So the game didn't get out of hand. Granted, he didn't play in the second half, but he helped stabilize us. He played well in his
Dre. I try to tell people he was the steal of that OG trade. I'm like, yo, we got Malachi Flynn. I like him.
Yeah, I'm telling bro, that dude is quick.
So is we gonna give credit to the front office now? Because that's who deserve all the credit right now.
Leon Rose.
It's funny. Rose, Worldwide West, James Dolan, everybody that been catching slack. They kind of need their back rub right now. They need a little, you know what I mean? A little TLC, you know what I mean? Tender love and care, you feel me? Appreciation.
Well, they won't give Leon Rose Executive of the Year because he doesn't do interviews.
Come on, bro. That's semantics. You talking semantics. Don't nobody care about that. Who's doing the best? Who's the best run organization in the NBA right now today?
I'm saying you could say semantics, but the media decide who wins those awards. And if you don't play nice with the media, you can see how it plays out in other sports in terms of Hall of Fame.
You can't even say play nice. You don't play with them at all. So how is that even playing? He's not playing bad. He's not even playing nice. He's not playing any. He's not playing at all.
To the media, not playing at all is not playing nice.
Here's a little kickback to what you were saying about us not touching. At this point, do you guys trust a move that Leon Rose in the front office wants to make at this point?
Yeah, I would trust anything they do.
To be honest with you, every time they make a trade, we win at least 8 to 10 games. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. So I gotta trust every move.
So here we go. Listen to this.
Every time they make a move, it changes the trajectory and it pushes us forward. So you gotta trust every move they make right now.
At this point, if they feel like if they make a move, even though we feel like we should, some people feel like they shouldn't. We got to just trust the process at this point. See how it pans out.
If they pull in Jordan Clarkson, I don't know about DeJounte Murray. No, I don't know about that. We need somebody.
I don't even want to touch the starting lineup. Smoke. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Nah, he coming off the bench.
Nah, that guy. His pedigree and with Tibbs is not going to bring.
See, with all this doubt, this is why I say no completely, right? Because we got to talk about who. If we got to start catering the dude's feelings, then they don't even need to be here. Feel me?
Oh, and he's definitely one of those guys that
we're good then. Well, I'm good then. I'm good then. I speak for myself. I'm good then.
I'm not about to say he a trash player or anything like that, but the numbers are pretty plain when you look at the starting lineup with
Because
Brunson, OG, Randall,
I'll take
Dante,
Alec Burks. I'll
Filler.
take Alec Burks back because at least I knew my boy was a sniper. Just don't put him at point guard.
But I think we need. No, I was gonna say, I don't think we need a point guard. I think we just need another playmaker. That's all. It doesn't even have to be someone at the point position. It could be.
No,
It
I
could be.
like the team playmaking. I think they need to utilize Hartenstein playmaking. Running those little pick and roll, throwing like when he hit Deuce, those plays, and when he be hitting Brunson, those plays actually work. Or when he be hitting the back door screen passes, yeah, those plays actually be working. They need to utilize that a lot more, bro. 'Cause those be working a lot.
I'm
Fact.
surprised that we haven't seen it more because Tibbs had Joakim Noah running the offense from the elbow,
Nah, but
or
I
from
ain't gonna lie,
from from,
Hartenstein got
from the.
way more ball skills than a Joakim Noah, bro.
No. I'm saying he may be more talented than Joakim Noah, but Joakim Noah finished like top 4 in MVP voting the year that Derrick Rose was out because they ran so much of the offense through him that year. Like
And
and
he
and,
was a decent passer. He was definitely a decent passer.
and I'm saying like if they could run that through him, I think Hartenstein has all the ability to run some offense through him in terms of him identifying cutters or setting screens or maybe even possibly running inverted pick and rolls, like
I,
certain
I
things
think
like
I
that.
think he limited kind of like if he finished a lot more, then it would be way more effective because then they would have to respect him as a roller, right? Or if he caught
Yeah.
alleys on occasion, and then they would have to respect him as a roller. He definitely like plays with a lot of like tenacity and heart. So he gets a lot of like 50-50 plays and stuff like that. So that's where he like that utility, that toughness is definitely it's always necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Freezy, when you see these backup guys stepping up the way they are, and now that because of that, when we get guys back, it seems like we have guys that are ready. Do you feel we still have to get something else?
What you think? What are you thinking? When you asked me that, what were you thinking?
That I've heard you kind of say that you're happy with the chemistry before, but you have mentioned a move or two you wouldn't mind seeing. I'm just wondering what you've seen these last 2 or 3 games, if the dial for you is leaning one way or the other now, especially after a win like tonight without two of our kind of star players. Let's face it, OG and Randall are star players.
Or you can ask Tim. Tim been here for 30 minutes, man. He ain't even get to say a word. Tim, what's good, bro?
Salute, Freezy. Salute to all you great kings on the panel, man. I'm just sitting back, soaking in all this knowledge that Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
First of
man.
all, I'm just
Yeah,
soaking in all
we're
this knowledge, man. I like to stay humble and wait, just listen to you great kings talk about the team that we love, man. Just listen to you, all these great takes. That's just me. I like to fall in line and wait my turn, you know what I'm
appreciate it,
saying?
Tim.
And you guys is kicking it and keeping it 100, especially talking about the team that we love. If you guys haven't subscribed to this channel, man, it costs you nothing to hit the thumbs up, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
hit the notification bell. And you know what I mean? Support the hardest working man on YouTube, man, Uncle Freezie, man. This dude goes hard for everybody in the culture, man. And it's a blessing to be able to come on a platform where we can be able to talk about the team that we love, man. We don't have too much of that. We got the best fans in the world. So to be able to have a platform where we'll be able to come on and talk about the team we love, man, that's a blessing. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah,
should
man.
be excited about that, man. Salute to you, King. I just wanted to throw that out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
you heard the question Coach asked though?
Coach, Coach, throw the question at me
yeah,
one time.
no, yeah, like so we obviously in the midst of this beautiful windfall we've had this past month
Uh-huh.
since acquiring OG. Part of us were like, yeah, let's bring in another guy. This last one just worked. Let's bring in another one. And some of the names have been out there. The Murrays and the Bridges and the Brogdons and the Clarksons and all these names. Do you still feel that that's needed, or do you think that as long as it's a move that doesn't take away a piece that we feel that's a big part of what's been going on is taken away, we can afford to maybe bring another guy or two in that's like-minded with these other guys?
I think we should make a trade, not a major trade, but tweak something. I feel like I think we do need a backup point guard. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Deuce ain't representing and stepping up because he is. A lot of people fail to realize Deuce was a baller in West Virginia. He was a scorer. He was balling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't fail to realize that too, as well. When he got to the NBA, it was just like, okay, he didn't know if he fit. He didn't know what his game was going to be. It had to take him time to grow and blossom. You know what I'm saying? So now we starting to see with quickly leaving the confidence that he has that he's playing with now, and it's exciting to watch him, grow and elevate right now at a time right now, and it's good for us Knicks fans to be excited to see where he's going to grow. He signed a 3-year contract, I believe, 13 million or something like that. If I'm correct, I could be wrong, something in that range. Now he feel like, he don't have to worry now. There's not a lot of pressure on him. Now he could just go out there and show his game, and prove to the league that he is a baller. I feel like, we do need a backup point guard to get Brunson uh, some breather. Not saying Deuce ain't it, but I think that Deuce would be a perfect fit with the next person that's running the show, because Deuce could be able to run loose and be free to play his game the way he's capable of playing. Who is that backup point guard? Um, to be determined. You know what I'm saying? There's here Malcolm Brogdon. Um, just a couple other point guards that I've been hearing about. Um, is they capable of holding it down and taking us to the next level, or fitting in with Tibbs' system? To be determined. We don't know, right? That's for the front office to decide. But let me flip it to you guys, right? What do you guys think that the perfect point guard, right? The backup point guard for Brunson, who do you guys see that we should go after, in a free agent, if there's someone that's available? Who do you guys think? I mean, Malcolm Brogdon, I think if he comes to the Knicks, I think he would turn his game up and step it up a notch than him being in Portland. A lot of people have been trashing him lately, but I think he'll elevate his game and take it. I think he'll fit perfect in Tip's system. But who do you guys think that would fit?
Uh, I think personally, I think Brogdon is probably the most ideal fit. But I saw that Ian Begley had like a report, and he was basically saying like the more I like he was saying Alec Burks probably might be the most likely candidate. I don't know how we would we get him. I don't know how we would get him, but it seems like it's not necessarily like a point guard that we're looking for. It's just another playmaker. It could be a big two or a combo guard. It's just somebody that can create an advantage and go downhill and get other guys open. And I think that's the thing that we're missing when Brunson comes off the court. Like we just need another guy to make defenses shift and react, and then we could do the whole drive and kick type game that we thrive off of, especially with bench units that we did thrive off of when Quickly was here. So it's one of those things where we just need. I understand what you're saying. Like a point guard probably would be the easiest mold of okay playmaker, because that's what you're supposed to do as a point guard. But I just think anybody that can play, anybody that can be 1 through 3, and that can create an advantage offensively when Brunson's off the court, someone that we should target. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're gonna get Brogdon or even if we're seriously trying to get him. But that would probably be the most ideal player because his skill set is legitimately just plug in, and you don't really got to do anything with him because he's just gonna shoot 50% and 40% from the three, and he's gonna get into the heart of the defense, and he's gonna make the right decision more often than not in terms of passing and playmaking. So I think that's the most ideal player in terms of
Right.
cost. in terms of cost as well.
Yeah, like to me, my opinion, because of the resurgence, not resurgence, well, just because of DiVincenzo, to me, has shown we have someone else that can get the scoring going. Okay. And I think OG is starting to show it before his so had that little elbow thing. So do you guys feel we have enough when everyone's healthy and back? We have enough scoring punch now?
I think so. I think so. I think we got our team is solid right now, all around the board. We set in every position, if you think about it. Adding a Brunson or anybody that if we make a trade, it's a plus. I think that would take us over the hump.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people fail to realize this the way this Knicks team is built right now, we built to win a championship right now. I hate to say I was a Tom Thibodeau hater. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta come clean. I want him out of here. I can admit, I gotta eat my crow. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep it 100. I was a hater. I want him out of here. But I gotta give him his props, man. And you know what? That 90s coaching works. It works. It works for this. It works for this time around. You know what I'm saying? It's all about putting the right pieces in place. So I was tearing him up. I want him out of here. But I got to give him his props. Like, he really turned it around. He really changed it's for a great cause. And we seeing, his coaching is taking a toll on the team, and they buying into it. And look at the results that we getting from it. And they keep going the way they going. I think we could do something special this year. So if everybody just got to stay even keel and stay healthy, if we could get healthy, Randall back and Mitch, we can definitely do something special. We could shock the world this year. Nobody thought the Denver Nuggets was going to win the championship last year.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of discipline, huh?
Absolutely.
And here's the thing: we got guys now on our team that if we do bring someone in, they toe the line. We got guys like Brunson and Randall and OG. Like these guys, whoever comes in, look,
they got to buy in, coach.
Look, MF, this is the way we doing things here.
They got to buy in.
The way it's gonna be. In case you didn't notice, it's working. So you can do it our way, or you can join.
But that's the thing.
On the bench.
The front office has been targeting the right type of guys to bring in.
Right.
So you ain't even got to question it. They're not going to bring in someone that might be a malcontent.
That's going to hurt us.
The wall.
They're not going to bring someone that's going to hurt the chemistry.
They definitely take character into account. For like, remember Freezie used to say, we only got church boys on this team. Like, there ain't no J.R. Smiths on here. It's probably by design. To be absolutely honest, we're targeting guys to be great soldiers at this point. That will take and heed their assignment and follow the script.
And to be honest with you, Dre,
we got a lot of guys with chips on the shoulders too.
That's technically all we need. We don't need another person trying to come in here and be captain of the ship. We already got a captain and a co-captain,
right?
And all we need is contributing factors at this point.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if DeJounte is the move, because that guy commands a certain amount of respect, and he's gonna have to buy in, and part of that buying in is changing parts of his game. Whereas if you notice, we're targeting guys that can be low usage, that shoot high percentage from three, play defense, and play make a little bit. We're not chasing more guys to be on ball. That's Brunson's job. We're not chasing more guys to be high usage. That's Brunson and Randall's job. We got rid of two guys that were high usage.
Can I ask you guys a question? Can I ask you all you guys on this panel a question real quick? Do you think the Knicks, right, if there is a star player that's available to go after in a free agent, right, a superstar player, do you think the Knicks should go all out?
Hey Tim, instead of talking about free agency, bro, how about we just keep it on this season? Maybe like the
No,
trade deadline.
not my bad, Freezy. Not free agency. Let me correct that. Not free agency, right?
Buyout.
The trading deadline.
Oh, trade up.
Let me correct that. My bad. That's where I wanted to go. The trading deadline.
I'll give you the long short answer. No,
Trading deadline.
I disagree. I don't like, even if it was a superstar, I'm not giving up. Like Brooklyn did this, where they gave up half their roster they was building up, and their team was kind of making noise, and you feel me? And they thought they was just going to jump this mountain, and then all of a sudden it didn't work out like they thought it was going to work out. I don't want none of these old washed up dudes. Let's build our own squad. Y'all always talking about building our own, and as soon as we build our own, y'all still talking about outside entities. Why can't we just appreciate what we have? We don't need no outside entities unless they role players that's coming to help.
Smoke, you hustling backwards on this point, bro.
I'm not though.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
not.
You hustling backwards on this point because, for one, Jalen Brunson wasn't drafted by the Knicks. Jalen Brunson was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks.
But that's not my point,
but
though.
you just said your own. You said build your own. I'm just saying, admit if you hustle backwards a little bit on this one, because Julius Randle was not drafted by the Knicks.
I don't mean drafted by us, but we bred them to be who they are now.
Was not drafted by the Knicks.
That's true.
You hustled a little bit backwards on this one.
I'll concede.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. What Smoke is saying, in theory, is indoctrinate and bring people into your culture, right? Regardless of what they did in other places, right, and have them excel in their roles here where they may have been miscast in other roles in other organizations, and they were, right? Jalen Brunson played second fiddle to Luka. Right? In theory, as great as Luka Doncic is, Jalen Brunson running the show in his own organization, one could say he has better results than Luka Doncic running the show as the lead dog.
Yes, sir.
In his franchise during the same time frame.
That's facts.
Right? I mean,
like
Julius Randle was just a random big with the Lakers, who were a team that was trying to figure it out. They jettisoned him to oblivion.
And let him
wound
go
up in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
They cut him, bruh. Cut him.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to answer your question, Tim. I think the front office is always listening, but in terms of like these superstar type deals, they rarely happen before the deadline. Like superstars get moved in the summer. The fringe players, the role players, those guys, or those marginal difference makers, those guys get moved at the deadline all the time. But the guys making that max money, near max money, it's tough to move that much money in the middle of a season and not gut your team. There's like the reason why like the Nets struggled, because once they gutted their team and one of their guys that they gutted their team for got hurt, they were out there playing with broken down Blake Griffin on the court. and things of that nature. So it's one of those things where teams don't really trade the max player, at least if they're trying to compete for a title. They don't trade for that type of guy in the season. They trade for that guy in the summer. So I would say, yeah, the front office is listening to everything, but I don't think they would ever do that right now. Nor do I think anybody's available in that superstar range anyway. Not right now. Unless you consider Zach LaVine a superstar. That's about it. That's like the only guy that may move right now.
Do y'all consider Zach LaVine a superstar?
I don't at all.
Nah,
I think he's a solid good player.
I think he's
a solid good player.
I think he's star caliber, not superstar though.
Yeah. All-star, yes. Superstar, no.
He definitely has to be accounted for on any team he's on. That's for sure, though.
Yeah, like the talent speaks for itself. It's just the
Like
contract that
tonight,
complicates things for people.
the Pacers tried doubling Brunson a lot. They can't do that with Levine on the floor. You know,
I
with
mean, they
Randall there,
doubled
you
them a
can't do
lot,
it either.
and he still got 40.
He still did his thing. I mean, it helped. It helped
I
for about
understand the point you're saying.
yeah, but it helped for like 2.5 quarters. And then he's like, "Nope, I'm still gonna get mine."
Full court. Press them.
You know how bad you got to be to get trapped from the jump. Like they were trapping him from jump.
The
and
thing
said
that
the doubles, and he still got 40.
the thing that's underrated about our team, even though sometimes we have these little can't get right moments, is
You talking about Josh Hart?
yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. That a couple of our big men, because you watch other teams, they panic, the inbounds and in the backcourt when the right guy, you don't want that guy to handle the ball. But, Achua, Hartenstein, even Jericho Sint, like these guys have enough comfort with the ball in their hand that they can get the ball, then pass it back to Brunson or another ball handler.
Yeah.
And there's just like little moments like that throughout the game that are overlooked, but it's so important. And that's we got a lot of guys doing a lot of little things that don't show up, on the stat sheet. And that's what winning basketball is about.
So, do you guys think we should make a trade? Do you think we need one more piece to go far in the playoffs this year?
I mean, I still think we need to shore up one or two things. Like I'm just being real, because we don't know. We can't sustain this with this group. Every team's an injury or two away from being done. Even Boston. Like you got to have guys. We got Precious playing 43 minutes.
Crazy.
It's gonna something might happen to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta. If there's a guy that they feel comfortable with, I trust him.
I think we just need one more ball handler / creator that Tibbs trusts. Period. Like, or that he can put as interchangeable, and someone that can play with Brunson or by himself, or can operate by himself with a second unit or something like that. Like, I'm not even looking to bring in someone that put Deuce on the bench or anything. Like, I want to bring in someone that Deuce can play with. That's why I'm like thinking. That's why I even said just a playmaker. It doesn't have to be a point guard in that sense. It could be a big combo like Brogdon.
Like
that
Luke
Deuce can play
Kennard.
with. Yeah. Oh, not Luke Kennard. Even though
Hey,
he's a good shooter. He's a very
he
good
can
shooter.
shoot, and
He's a very good shooter.
hey, he's been averaging like 6-7 assists lately. I've been
Is he?
looking at some of his games. Yeah,
That's crazy. But I'll say the Grizzlies actually play. I don't want to detract too much, but the Grizzlies are playing very hard despite being down a billion bodies. But yeah, I just think we need. I think we need, and I think the front office recognize like we probably need to make one more move for a ball handler or creator of some sort. Doesn't necessarily have to be a traditional point guard. It just needs to be another guy off the bench, because you can't rely on, like I already mentioned it earlier. We play elite defense with Deuce on the court, but when Deuce is the lead guard, right, we have literally the worst NBA offense. You can't live with that in the playoffs.
and I want to shout out to Justo.
I got it, Coach. I got it. Justo, thank you for the generous contribution. Justo says it's glaring that the second unit needs a facilitator who can get offense going. In the playoffs, we can't afford to have 3-minute droughts on good teams. Bim, appreciate you, bro.
A fact.
I'm gonna do. Y'all
came
go ahead, bro.
through last night too. You came through last night a few times too. Want to appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So can I tell you guys something real quick? I don't know if you guys know or not, right? But do you know that we are in the third place in the Eastern Conference, right? And we are half a game out of second place.
Yeah. And the Cavs are breathing down our neck. They're half a game behind us.
And we four games out of first place. Do you guys think that we can make that push to get to first place? I just wanted to
Ooh.
throw that out there to you
Ooh.
great kings on the panel right now. That just came out of left field, but I just had to throw that out there, throw the alley oop to y'all. So
Well,
you're gonna dunk it.
I mean, first to
I want
me,
to hear
second,
Freezie's take on it. My fault, Coach.
second or first seed is that's nice.
Oh man.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh.
I thought Coach you was saying something, right?
No, I was waiting for you to go. He asked you the question.
No, you were saying something.
Nah,
Go
I
ahead.
all this for
Yeah, don't
the
cut
whole
your thought
panel.
off in
It's for
mid sentence,
everybody.
bro. Go ahead. I ain't cut you
No,
off.
I'm just saying that. Hell yeah, I would love to have that first or second seed. You know, because let's face it, the elephant in the room is ball. You know, you got. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. As much as I love my Knicks, I'm being a realist. That team's better than ours right now. I'm just saying. As good as we're playing, yeah, we're creeping on them a little bit, but their best game with their best guys against our best game, I mean, we just don't have enough to keep up with that with them. Like maybe when we have everyone back, Randall, OG, and even Mitch at the end. I'm not saying I'm scared, but I said this last night and then 2 broadcasts ago about Boston that they are never satisfied. They've been the first, second, third seed now for about 3 or 4 years, and they keep adding pieces.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I think we need to add if we add one more of the quote unquote right piece or the right player that fits in seamlessly,
right?
That puts us in that category with them as being one of the forces or title contenders. I just think we need one more addition, just one, and it might seem like icing on the cake, but the like the parts put together, like imagine how good we are when we don't have these 3-minute lapses with no offense. Like if tonight when if the refs weren't crazy and we shot our normal percentages, this was a fully healthy Pacers team. We probably would have dog walked them if we shot anywhere near our normal percentages on these open looks. And this is the unit that is our B team at best. This might be not even that B team. This is our C team that we saw tonight. Our C team plus Brunson.
I'm also not going to lie, though. I mean, Halburn was giving us the business. That minutes restriction helped us tonight. I ain't gonna lie. He was giving us the business. Period.
But he's a superstar. You don't stop superstars, but we held everybody else in check.
Right.
So like, superstar. Like when we go into play, like put it this way, that mentality. The Miami Heat had that mentality. Like Brunson is a superstar. He's going to get his regardless, and they held everybody else in check, and they won solely because of that. That's going to be their issue when they get to the playoffs. If Siakam isn't producing at a high level, Tyrese Halliburton is not going to just drag them through playoff rounds and win. This is why you need a team. Right. That's why you need everything together. That's why I'm like, we need one more move in terms of just an orchestrator or a guy that gets us into our sets and can create for himself and others. Just to offset these 3-minute, not even these 3-minute spurts, just to offset those 5 or 6 minutes in every half that Brunson doesn't play. And Brunson's not on the court. And even when he comes on the court, I would love to be a guy that can play with Brunson because we know Brunson is a beast on or off the ball. Like we tied the game off a catch and shoot from Brunson.
You know what I noticed about Brunson? Brunson going to get his regardless, right? You know the person that I worry about the most is Julius. What are we going to get, Julius? What are we going to get from Julius in the playoffs this year coming? Because we know the last couple of years that he haven't been stepping up to the plate, right? So do you guys think that this is the year for Julius to finally break out and show us what he's really made of, that he can really help Brunson or be that Batman?
Hey Tim, before we
I
do
mean,
that, man,
all right,
before we
get
do,
Freezy.
yeah, before we do that, I had a point that I wanted to get to, but I wanted to ensure that everybody, you know what I'm saying, voice their opinions on everything. But what I want to say, point out about this game against Indiana, for one, in this big moment, Dante DiVincenzo was not it. Right?
He wasn't.
When the chips were down,
Mm-hmm.
Dante DiVincenzo didn't play a good game at all.
Right.
And listen, I came in, I wanted to make excuses for him, right? But then there are no excuses for him, right? When two of their backcourt players, Mathurin and Halliburton, missed the majority of the game. Halliburton missed the game. I mean, Mathurin missed the game completely.
Yeah.
And the Indiana Pacers came in with the 28th ranked scoring defense. 28th. Like, they gave up a ton of points. And against that defense, Dante DiVincenzo was 8 for 26. Right? If
Took 26 shots? My fault, Freezy. I didn't know that. That actually shocked me. That's why I asked. My bad. That shocked me. You can continue. My fault. I'm sorry.
Nah, man. Nah, go ahead, bro.
No. I just got shocked by that number that you said. I ain't had nothing to add to it. My fault. I cut you off.
No, I didn't want to cut y'all off and interrupt thoughts and all that stuff. What I'm saying is I think Dante is a very good player, and I think he'll get better over the course of the season. But do we want to pin our championship dreams on a player that may not be it? I'm confident that he's a good player, right? But against the 28th scoring defense in the NBA, Dante DiVincenzo was 8 for 26, and that's with a couple of guys missing a lot of time during the game. That was one thing. That was one thing that I saw. What that did when I watched it, it let me know that Dante DiVincenzo is an NBA starter, but I don't know if Dante DiVincenzo is a championship level starting shooting guard in the NBA. And there's a difference. Is he a good player? Yes. Is he a starting shooting guard for a championship level team? We don't know yet. And if we and so we can't base it off what we saw tonight, right? And we can't base it off what we saw the other night, because for the most part, Dante DiVincenzo's output is up and down, up and down, up and down. It's matchup dependent, right? And to say that we are all aboard on Dante DiVincenzo as a championship level starting shooting guard, I think instead of saying no or absolutely yes, I think we should probably reserve judgment on it, right? Because there were a lot of things at play. But what I'm saying is instead of us saying absolutely don't look at upgrading the two guard spot, I think we should keep the question open.
Right. To be determined.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. As opposed to saying, no, I don't want DeJounte Murray, or no, I don't want such and such player. But I would say just keep that part open.
Okay.
Because in theory, if there was a better scoring night from said player, then a lot of the stuff that we went through the game, I think we wouldn't have gone through the game. And when I was thinking about it, I was sitting outside, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't say this. But at the same time, I absolutely have to say it if we keeping it a stack, because if that had been Julius Randle, 8 for 26, Cat would have been crucifying Julius Randle.
You're right.
Up here. They would have been frying Julius Randle up here.
But okay,
Good take on that.
How about you?
Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, how about you compare him to his contemporaries? That would be like, okay, the Nuggets went into a game and they're missing Jokic, hypothetically speaking, right? And they got Jamal Murray out there, and okay, they're missing Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon is on a minutes restriction, and they asked Contavious Caldwell Pope to take 26 shots, and sometimes he got it, and sometimes he don't got it. Like he, like is Dante on that type of caliber level player to you, like KCP type to you, Freezy?
I don't know. I don't want to answer that question because I don't feel like I think that's a forced question
Right.
to save Dante.
Right.
Right.
But it's like, but
what I'm
he's
saying
not.
is,
He's not that type of player.
We ain't
We're
seeing enough
forcing
of him yet. I feel like we ain't seeing enough of him yet to answer that
We
question.
gave him too
yet.
much of his flowers for shooting insanely well, and it's
Right. We still got to see a little bit more.
that's not what I'm saying. In respect to the question, you brought up a specific player, right? You gave an exact name. You said Contavious Caldwell Pope, right?
A two-way role player that
yeah, bro, y'all got it.
I'm not saying you don't upgrade from him, but it's hard to view him in the optics when he's not playing next to OG or Randall, or even hypothetically speaking, Mitch. If you were to have Mitch back, right? We're judging a role player on being he's excellent at his role, but we're asking him to be we're asking him to take Klay Thompson levels of shots, and he might have it one night and he might not have it another night because he's just not a star caliber player. He's never been that consistent at any point in his career. But for what we asked
I think you just grabbed my answer and just made up a question to it, bro. Because I never said Dante DiVincenzo is that guy. I said we should keep the question open
for upgrading,
right?
To be determined.
To upgrade. If there is an upgrade available for Dante, should we consider it?
Okay.
And the other part you mentioned, Contavious Caldwell Pope. Remember, Contavious Caldwell Pope is not just a championship level shooting guard for the Denver Nuggets. He also won a championship with the LA Lakers.
And this is where he lived.
And Dante, okay.
My fault, Freezy. My fault.
No, go ahead, bro. No,
I was going to say Dante was hurt when the Bucks won the championship, so they won without him. So it's like, yeah, I understand. Like, you can't just view him as.
But Dre, you're also the guy that says not to touch the starting lineup.
That's why I'm saying.
So he's not the guy. He's not the guy we can trust yet.
Right.
Now, he's had splashes when he's been given extra minutes that we like.
Right.
But it's still to be determined. And when you're at a to be determined state with one of your 5 players, then an upgrade is, if it's possible for the right price, you dang right I'm doing it. Period.
I can agree to that point. The only reason I said that is when we're healthy and we have a unit together, I'm not asking Dante to be more than what he has to do for that particular unit. We're stretching it thin right now. Like before OG got hurt, before Randall got hurt, he was taking 6 or 7 threes a game. He's averaging 15 threes. This is not his role that we signed him to have. He thrived in the other role. Yeah. Now he got hot in the last 2 nights, but the way that we're looking at him right now, it's distorted because of all of these injuries. And yes, you want to upgrade. If there's an upgrade to be had, you go for it. Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But what if the upgrade is someone that can come off the bench, and if Dante doesn't have it, you close the game with that guy just because he's your 6th man? Like, hypothetically speaking, what if the upgrade is, okay, you get Malcolm Brogdon, he's your 6th man, but Dante doesn't have it tonight. So you can bring him in and he'll play next to Brunson and free Brunson up, and he can orchestrate and he can play defense, but you close the game out with him as opposed to like, I don't think we're like a DeJounte away from the championship. I think the player we can get can be a lesser player than DeJounte, and we would be closer. But I don't want to ignore like upgrading the roster. Like to Freezy's point, like I agree, it should be to be determined. No one is untouchable on this roster except for Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle and OG at all.
You know what it is, Dre?
I get what you're saying, Freezy. I get what you're saying.
What Freezie's saying is like he want to see more consistency. You know,
No,
he,
I got hey, I'm right here, bro. I can talk for
I,
myself.
I know Freezie. No, I'm just going not with you. I felt like that too, but I'm just going off of what you was trying to say from the beginning. I'm speaking for myself as well. You know what I'm saying? And I want to see more consistency out of Dante. I feel like um he's been playing good, and that's good. I'm glad to see him stepping up for our squad and making us relevant, even more relevant with his gameplay, which is dope. That's a great thing to see. You know, the main
Right.
thing is, can he
But that's
continue?
not that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is so here's a separate point. No player is going to be perfect every night,
Right.
right? No player is going to be perfect on every night.
Mhm.
But when we need you to try to get close to perfect because we have people out, you have to at least be able to step your game up and perform at another level. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. And when we needed Dante to kind of step up and get that game to another level so that Brunson won't have to put the Superman cape on and will his team to victory by himself, Dante really wasn't there tonight against a very bad defense with their starting point guard out in the fourth quarter.
I think he
Right?
missed like 11 threes in a row or something like that. Like, so
Yeah.
he missed a
Yeah.
ton of threes.
And ultimately what I'm saying is I'm not saying that the team is not a good team. Right? I'm not saying that the team is not a good team. What I'm saying is the team is a very good team, but don't get the Indiana Pacers in a February game with a 28th ranked defense confused with championship contenders.
Mm.
Right? Boston to be excited if we don't explore trade upgrades and all that stuff. They'll be excited about that.
Yeah.
The
Right.
Boston that lost to
Milwaukee will
the
be
AD and
excited.
LeBronless Lakers tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, Coach. Unfortunately, it
Well,
happens.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it don't you if Boston fans had a show,
Don't
what do you
be
think
content is
they're
basically what
they're
Freezie's
complaining
saying.
about right now?
Oh yeah, they're
They're
probably
like, oh,
livid.
we can't just be resting on the fact that the Knicks are coming. They're breathing down our necks. The Cavaliers are coming. We just lost to the Lakers without AD and LeBron. But they want to do something too. Trust me, they ain't won the chip yet with that group.
I was gonna
They're
say,
not afraid, and we've seen them. They ain't afraid to make a move.
yeah.
So just like Freezie said before in a couple of broadcasts, these last few, we better make the move before someone else, so that someone else don't make it.
I was gonna say, like, I understand. Freezie's like, yo, don't be content. And that goes for almost anyone on this roster.
Don't
And
get
if
too comfortable.
yeah, I understand.
Right.
I understand what he was saying now. Like,
And so the thing that concerned me the most when I watched us against the Indiana Pacers, their defense is trash, and we know it. They know their defense is trash, right? Our defense is great. We know it. They know it, or they knew it, right? But in these moments where everybody in the chat does this, and this is one of the things where I try to tell the chat
mhm.
not to like double talk, right? Because what happened is we always say stuff like next man up. We'll say stuff like next man up, right? And then when it comes to the next man to step up and he doesn't step up, then we don't say anything. Right? Tonight was the night. I was super excited. I'm not gonna lie to you. I personally am probably the biggest Dante DiVincenzo fan in here. Right? During the summertime when we were doing these live streams, I confessed to everybody in here that my favorite Nova boy was Dante DiVincenzo. And I got clowned because people were saying, how was that when he just got here? Those are facts.
Mm-hmm.
Those are facts. So I like Dante DiVincenzo a lot more than a lot of Knicks fans like him. Right? I'm not just a bandwagon Dante guy because he got hot. I liked him when he was coming off the bench behind Grimes. Right? I was waiting for Grimes to start waiting for DiVincenzo to start over Grimes. But what I'm saying to everybody is be excited about this moment and be happy for it. The team is red hot, right? Right? But don't all of a sudden like start popping the willy on the bike and taking your hands off the handlebars. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of season left. There's a lot of season left. And I'm excited where we are. I'm glad. I think we are the number. Dre, did I not say that we were gonna win 60 games this year?
I don't know if we're gonna win 60 still. I said we were gonna win like
No, that's not what I
low
asked you though.
50s.
That's not what I asked you.
Yes,
You
you
said
did,
you were gonna win
Freezy.
60.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. To answer your question, yes, you did say that. You were one of the few.
Yeah. Yeah. I was excited about the team from day one. I'm still excited about the team. But I just don't want to be in a situation where if there is an upgrade to be made,
That
not
we
make
don't
it.
make it. Right.
Not make it. Just because for instance, if the Malcolm Brogdon trade is on the table and we just turn it down because we feel like we don't want to ruin the chemistry, I think that might be a misstep.
Freezy, what if they asked for a first round pick and like a second and we turned it down because we ain't want to give up no second round pick? Then what?
For Brogdon,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. I don't know what his true value is.
I'm just comparing him to like whatever Rozier went for.
I don't know, man.
Because Rozier was averaging 23 points per game and shooting really well. And he's a
Yeah.
starting point guard, whereas Brogdon is a sixth man of the year candidate,
Right.
great player. But if Rozier is going for that, and you don't want to give up a first or a second for him, then I don't know what to say. Like, because Rozier didn't go for a player that's going to be in the future rotate. Like they weren't. Yes, Kyle Lowry was starting for them, but they immediately replaced his role with
Right.
Rozier. Whereas we're just adding on to what we're doing already. So we're not even putting in someone that's essential. And they're gonna buy out Kyle Lowry. So they don't even view Kyle Lowry as an asset.
Right.
It's one of those things where you don't have to give up an actual playing asset for him. You could just give up Fournier
Right.
and draft
And
capital.
and also for the record, the reason why I feel this way is not just to be contentious or to be counter to what everybody is saying. What I'm saying is it's deja vu. This feeling that we're feeling is not a unique feeling to this season. This is the feeling that we had when Derrick Rose and Alec Burks was balling off of our bench in 2021. Man, we straight. We don't need to add nothing, bro. We got chemistry. And then we faced Atlanta and realized we wasn't straight. And last year, when Quickly was balling off the bench, and we were talking about Quickly is going to be a starting NBA point guard for some other team, and we were like, "Oh, we got it, man. We straight. We don't really need to add much." We got to the playoffs and realized we really need to add something, right? So instead of having the third time being the charm, what I'm saying is explore all your options, and then if there's no trade to be made, don't do it. But if there is an upgrade available, do it.
Yeah.
That's as simple as you can make it. If there is an upgrade to be made, make it. If
And
there is no upgrade to be made, don't do it.
Right.
Don't force it.
and
Just
to
be
your point,
patient.
Freezy, it's never been more real that we can be title contenders than at any point. So it means even more now than those other years, where it's like, okay, even if you did make the move, right, it still might have needed a little bit more juice or a little bit more seasoning for the players on the roster. The roster right now is full of a bunch of 26 to 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds in their prime, ready to go, ready to make a deep playoff run. So the move to be had that could possibly put us over the top means even more now, because that move could mean could have the ripple effect of a title or a finals appearance. And it means even more now than it did when we played Atlanta in the playoffs. It means even more than last year, in my mind, at least. And we were right there. And I think this team is way better than last year's team.
Right. It appears that way on the surface that
Yeah.
this team is way better than last year's team. Right. But there was a point that last year's team, in my mind, looked like a championship contender. Then the wheels fell off. Right. The last year's team got off to a very rocky start, 10-13.
Yeah.
Right. And they had to dig themselves out of a hole and finished 47-35. Right. What I'm saying is this: when you look at what other teams did when they traded, because somebody made a false statement, and I didn't want to jump in and make chocolate milk out of it or muddy the waters, right? But you can't compare where the Knicks are to that Brooklyn situation.
Mhm.
That Brooklyn situation was they made all the right moves, and then something outside of basketball derailed everything for them.
You talking about the KD Kyrie
The Kyrie thing.
Yeah.
Harden? Okay.
No,
The
the
Kyrie
Kyrie
thing.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
just the okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the Kyrie thing where Kyrie is away from basketball and all this stuff, and now Harden and KD are trying to figure it out. Harden gets offended by this thing because he wants to be the primary ball handler. Then when Kyrie comes back from the off the court basketball stuff, Kyrie's numbers go down and the Nets aren't winning. James Harden's not. All these different things. It was just too much stuff that wasn't even related to basketball, right? But if you tell the Knicks organization right now, yo, go ahead and trade for 3 first ballot Hall of Famers, 3 top 150 players of all time, all of them will play together. Of course, you got to consider doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, you have to consider doing it, man. So it's one of those things when it comes to the basketball stuff. Everything basketball is not equal, right? But what I will say to y'all that are excited about the moment, I am too. I am more excited than maybe most of y'all. I live this stuff. I watch all the games, man. I was working, watching the game on the tablet and the TV at the same time, right? So the thing of not looking to rock the boat, so to speak, the job of the front office is to look to improve the team.
You can't think about not rocking the boat unless you got a title already. unless
Right.
unless you're the Denver Nuggets, you can't talk about. And even they're thinking, yo, we might need to make a move or something.
Right.
So I understand that. I think me and you have like I think we're agreeing. It's just like we might have like a different point of view on what is the upgrade. It just there's the upgrade just needs to happen. There has to be something. Like you can't just sit on your hands. Like there has to be improvement somewhere. We have to
Right.
win within the
Like
margins through something.
Coach, for instance, if you heard a whisper in the wind that SGA might be available,
Oh,
are you just gonna walk away because you don't want to rock the boat with the Knicks because you like Dante and Jalen Brunson's chemistry? I know that's
mm.
extreme, but that's one of the things I'm asking. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't. There's certain guys in the league that's no-brainer guys. Like it's widespread. with every GM in the league, this is a guy that's a difference maker. Period. You know.
Franchise changers.
Yeah. So like, for me, the reason why I can't, how many teams have won the championship with only one guy in the whole front court, starter slash bench, that can really be counted on to knock down outside shots? Technically, out of all our fours and fives, Randall's the only guy
That can hit a jumper.
that can hit it, that we're comfortable. Don't go, ooh, you know.
In this NBA, you need like
I mean, we need at least one more guy, you know, and that,
yeah.
just for spacing and for, because when Randall's out, and if Hartenstein and Achua are out on the perimeter or away from the paint, people can say, "All right, make your shot. We're gonna go double Brunson or OG and or whoever when they drive the lane," you know. So we do. I mean, just if you know basketball at all, of course I'm happy with our chemistry. Of course I'm ecstatic that we're having success with who we have now. But we know just how things can turn for the better, like it has for us before. It can turn for the worse real quick, like it has before for us. So, yeah, you know,
You got to be on the phone, bro. Chat, I'm telling
always.
you, you got to be on the phone,
Do your
right?
due
You don't have
diligence.
to. You don't have to make a move, but you got to be on the phone. You got to be listening, man. Yo, to at the trade deadline to not be engaged with other front offices and
Malpractice.
not be drafting makes me think, what good is the front? What good is there to have a front office if you're not going to draft and you're not going to listen to office at the trade deadline?
I was gonna say, Freezy, to your point. You think Jalen Brown's chemistry with Jason Tatum stopped them from thinking about trading Jalen Brown for Kevin Durant?
No.
They
And
were
when
like,
you watch the
they were like,
Celtics, and when you
they were
watch the
like,
Celtics,
yo, I'm gonna give you Jalen Brown. He's all NBA. I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna give you picks. Give us Kevin Durant, and it just didn't fall through. But they still offered it.
and in theory, Tatum and KD play the same position,
Do the same things.
and they were
But
still thinking about doing it.
you won't pass up top 20 all time talent.
And so, what I'm not saying trade and bring in Frank Ntilikina for Dante
Oh,
DiVincenzo's spot. That's not what I'm saying. I hope that's not the message that's being sent. What I'm saying is the
if
championship level NBA teams are different, right? We don't want to go into a battle with a championship level team thinking a nice story is gonna help us when we're down 4 with 6 minutes left to go, right? It's not the Mighty Ducks. It's not Disney. You need a baller. You need somebody that in that moment is going to produce, right? If it is it Dante DiVincenzo, we'll see, because Dante's gonna be here. Right?
Mhm.
Dante is gonna be here. But you know what though? Championship level teams, they have guys that are proven. When Dre brought up KCP, which probably was maybe not the best example because KCP had done it with the Lakers, and then he did it with the Nuggets.
But as a role player, like that's why I'm viewing him as the optic of role player. That's what Dante is. Like I'm gonna say this, Freezy, not to diminish your point, but he's
Now, you
averaging
need to mention,
15.
I didn't get a chance to finish it
I was gonna say, okay, my fault.
because you said
But
not to diminish it.
I'm saying like shooting 15 3-pointers over 3 games. There's probably a limited amount of players in NBA history that has ever done that, and Steph Curry included one of them. Like that's reserved for actual star players to take those types of shots, and he's in that role because we have so many guys out. He's just not that type of player. He
But the
thrives
thing,
in
but
that.
the thing, yeah, the thing that we're not talking about, even when we mention that, is what Dante DiVincenzo looks like when he has to step up and be the second star on a team. What does
He's
Dante
not a second
DiVincenzo look
star.
like when he has to, not when he's complementary to somebody else, right? Because scoring 26, 30 and everybody's healthy and all of that stuff. I'm saying when we need you, can you provide that offense?
What would Murray have done in the same situation?
But Murray would not have taken. Look, let's not act like Murray is this infallible player that doesn't have bad games. He has bad games too. He's just a very good player.
Right.
He's
But
absolutely a very good player.
so Virtuoso, thank you for the Jen's contribution. Virtuoso said Leon Rose should be on the phone right now with a cigarette hanging from his lip. Right. And so what I'm gonna back up away from this conversation of Jamal Murray and DiVincenzo because I don't even think it's
Even
close.
DeJounte Murray, I think he was
Okay,
talking
okay,
about. He was talking about
okay.
DeJounte. In terms of like upgrading the two and getting like a guy like DeJounte. That's what he was like referencing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I meant. Like if OG and Randall were out and DeJounte Murray was in this spot where he had to be the number 2 volume guy, you know, he's
Yes.
done it before.
Yes. I think so.
Yeah. But that's where when Freezie's talking about upgrade, like some of y'all think the upgrade's got to be some ridiculous superstar sound upgrade. So sometimes the upgrade might be someone that at first you don't know it's an upgrade till we didn't know Dante DiVincenzo was gonna be an upgrade when we got him.
Or Dante can keep his composure and perform because what I saw is Dante DiVincenzo was rattled. That's what it looked like to me.
Or could it just be he just missed shots?
No,
It
it
couldn't
looked
just
like
be
he was
he missed
rattled.
shots.
To me, he looked rattled.
Yeah.
I think they
I
got
guess
I
we have a
think they got
different
to him
opinion.
early. To me, it looked like they got to him early and he was just off his game for the rest of the game. And he was trying to get back in a rhythm, but he couldn't.
There was a lot of open threes he missed. Like a lot of them. Like open just missed. And in the prior 2 games, he was shooting at a ridiculous pace from 3. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Freezy. It's hard to shoot a high percentage on 15 threes every game.
Yeah, but
Like
that's not.
Hall of Famers do that.
But that's not. Okay, all right. I get it. I get what you're saying, right? But what I'm saying is, Dante DiVincenzo looked rattled. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about his performance from there, because in theory he could have stopped shooting and found somebody else. What I'm saying is all night Dante looked like he was out of an element, and for what I don't know. You know, when I look back at the game, there was times where Dante was complaining to the refs. He was getting technical calls on him. He was missing a bunch of shots, and there was just a lot of stuff going on. To me,
I was gonna say I seen something in the chat. It might be a cop out. He actually looked tired to me. Like if you go by his like minute count from game to game, he went the Heat game. He played 20 minutes, and then these next games he's averaging 40 minutes, and he's never played that much in his entire NBA career at any point. He's never taken this many shots in any game at any point in his NBA career.
So
like, remember the other night it was like Mike was like he took 22 shots. That's the most shots he's ever taken in his career. 22. He took 26 tonight and he played 40 minutes. Like he could be gassed. Like he could be gassed.
Right.
Remember, we playing the fastest paced team in the NBA. Too,
I get it, but I get it. But it could be he was gassed, or he may not have that next level,
that next gear
that he could get to. Right, because think of, I'm gonna say this, y'all. Listen,
I understand what you're saying.
I'm gonna just keep it a stack with y'all, right? right? Dante was 8 for 26, and we're gonna say he looked gassed, right? But if I gave those 26 shots to Cam Thomas, would we
Cam
be
Thomas
talking?
has had eight for
Dre,
26
let me
games,
finish
bro.
my point, bro. Let me
Okay, my
finish,
fault.
bro. Let me finish my
Okay.
joint.
Okay.
If we gave those shots to Cam Thomas, we would not be having this same conversation of, yo, my man was 8 for 26 and he looked gassed. Guys that want to get to that next stage or that level or have that level to get to, they would thrive in a bro. Man, if we gave Emmanuel Quickly those 26 shots, we wouldn't be talking about Emmanuel Quickly was gassed. If it was Bones, if it was if we gave 26 shots to Gigi Jackson, bro, we wouldn't be talking about Dante DiVincenzo or Gigi Jackson was gassed. We wouldn't be. Yeah, what it is in my opinion, Dante should have stepped up in this game where he is clearly the second best player, and he didn't. And it's as simple as that, right? For this game, right? I'm not down on Dante. I like Dante. But in this game, no matter what we say, Dante DiVincenzo was 8 for 26.
How was his defense tonight?
It was good. It was good. And granted, Tyrese Halliburton was hitting shots where there's just nothing you could do. Like he had a couple of those step backs in the corner, and it was just like that's what superstar. That those are the types of shots that Brunson hits that just that deflates teams. When you have that
Deuce
level
was
of
D'ing
talent,
him up pretty good though.
yeah, Deuce won a couple possessions, but I mean,
But yeah, Halliburton's gonna get his.
if you have, like as Freezy said, that other gear, that's what makes stars and superstars. That separates the role players from those guys. Like,
Man,
eh, yeah,
yeah, I feel y'all, man. But no, I'm not getting ready to get on. I'm not getting ready to make excuses for him, bro. Right? My thing is I wanted Dante DiVincenzo to step up, and he didn't. So what? It's a February game against the Indiana Pacers, and we won. And we won. Right? But the thing is, if we're talking about not even picking up the phone for a better two-way player than that, bro, I think
that's crazy talk.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And here's the thing: if Devo knocks down what most starting twos should be, 45% of their shots, the game maybe would have took control of the game sooner.
Yes and no. I mean, most nights you're not in a 6.5 man rotation against the fastest paced team in the
Yeah,
league.
but
Like,
he
you
was a
can call
starting
it.
two who was missing open threes. The
I'm not.
Pacers' backup five was banging open threes tonight.
But I'm saying he shot 60% from three in the prior two games. They got 30.
No, but
Like guys can't shoot perfect every night. It happens.
I'm not saying crucify the man and we're done. I'm just saying like he hasn't been counted on long enough to just say we're comfortable with his consistency or lack thereof to not grab a possible upgrade.
I understand that because he's never done that in his career. Like he's never been relied upon to do that in all his career, which is why every night we come up and we see like he got another career high in terms of shots or minutes or something of that sort. It's just he is for better or worse, he's just a role player. And yes, you should pick up the phone to see if possible upgrades. But this is where I have like a detachment from Freezy was like uh possible upgrades where he's like, I'm thinking of the realistic upgrade, and Freezy's like, yo, no stone unturned for anybody in the league, period.
Right. Yeah, I'm saying no, I'm saying pick up the phone and listen for
Yeah,
anything.
no stone, leave no
Yeah.
stone
Yeah, I
unturned.
just think you got to do your due diligence.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just speaking from a perspective of what's likely to happen or a realistic player. Like when we say leave no stone unturned, I'm like thinking, okay, um, I'm thinking, oh, SGA is never going to be available. But then in that same token, Tyrese Halliburton is on the Pacers because the Pacers did their due diligence and were like, oh, I don't want De'Aaron. What you giving up for Tyrese? What you want for Tyrese? And that's why he's even there in the first place.
Yeah, how Jalen Brunson got here. Due
Yeah,
diligence.
Yeah, and the thing is, I was pounding on the table a couple days ago about how good Dante is when he plays more minutes, and I still believe that, but I think his worth is more when he plays those amount of minutes and is not counted on as the number 2 guy to score.
yeah, he's a complementary player. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
piece. He's
yeah.
not the part. He's a piece.
Like the things he does in that amount of minutes is he's gonna get better looks, and he's gonna make everyone, you know, pay for paying more attention to Randall and Brunson and OG. Like that's when he has more those clear paths to finish, because that's one thing, you know, that he can take it to the rim. You know, I think he was settling, he was heat checking this game. You know, he's like settling for these deep as hell threes, and you know, so
I want to say that the reason why I brought up KCP Freezy is because like when KCP was like the number 2 guy on like the Pistons, he shot terribly because he
Right.
was just. And if you keep giving like a high allotment of like usage and share and shot attempts and being relied upon, it's a finite amount of players that can do that type of stuff efficiently on high volume. And I'm not looking at Dante. I'm not looking at Dante down because he can't step up to be a second option when he's not supposed to be. I understand, and that's why you're supposed to look from the perspective of you should always upgrade and look for an upgrade. Uh, I think we should. I think we're still in talent acquisition mode, regardless of whatever Dante does. We should always be
Right.
in talent acquisition mode.
Right.
Like
Justo
the front
11.
office is always in a talent acquisition
All
mode.
right. So Justo 11 says, was hoping Dante would quiet Tyrese after the tech. He played rough, but knowing he can't do, we believe Brogdon or Murray can. Hey, thank you for the generous contribution, boss. And he also says, Josh Hart first half was unbearable, nasty work. Was that just a game, or is his reckless play hampering us? Just real quick on the first one, no, on the Dante thing, right? My thing is if you understand what he is, if you understand what Dante DiVincenzo is, right? Then when you talk about maybe listening to see if you can get somebody better, it shouldn't even be up for discussion. It's not even a question, right? It's not even up for. If you wearing rundown Pumas and you need more sneakers, somebody offer you brand new Jordan 11s. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. It just makes too much sense. And the other one about Josh Hart's play. Listen, I'm not gonna pick on Josh Hart when we're blowing teams out. We're okay with Josh Hart. In close games, then we're nitpicking Josh Hart. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, man.
I
I'm
could do that for you, Freezy, if you don't want to do it.
either you're on one side of the street or the other with Josh Hart, right? Either you're all for him or all against him. But I don't think it's fair when the effort leads to a different result. I say be fair with that, man. If you love that energy, love it. Right? If you're not a fan of that energy, don't be. but I wouldn't go back and forth on whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just say, be consistent in how you feel about him. So
Yeah, because like he's doing all these other little things. Well, the rebound is a big thing, but these little loose ball things he gets, and these little 50-50 balls, and these little loose balls. He's playing. He's undersized. He's playing out of position half the time, but 3/4 of the time right now. What we're asking him to do. So when we're at full strength, yes, everything he's doing to me is worth a couple of blunders here and there. Because if he didn't have those blunders, he probably has a skill set to be a regular starter, for a lot of teams. But those little whoops a daisy moments and some
Now,
of
I'm
his
gonna say this though: $18 million usually makes you a starter. I'll just say that much.
well, technically he's our sixth man. So
But his
the
skill
sixth
set isn't
man,
isn't that of a traditional six man.
he's a Swiss Army knife for us. Technically, he does a lot of things we need that second unit to
like
do.
what, coach?
He's rebounding. He's 6'4", having to play backup power forward. But luckily, Precious is the starter now. But he's also
Yeah,
his
that's not
defense.
totally true, coach. That man never had to play power forward. Since he's been on the roster, he's never had to play power forward, bro.
On the second unit,
Think about
he's
last year. Did the Knicks have two power forwards on the roster last year?
Yeah, Obi.
technically,
Yeah,
Obi.
yeah, we had Obi, but
yeah. That
not
man
the whole
he
year.
didn't have to play power forward.
I
Yeah,
was,
but
I was, I was gonna say like
but I've already said like what I've said 5 things he does. Do I have to repeat it again?
Yeah, I didn't hear the
Rewind
other
it,
four.
huh?
I didn't hear the other four.
the hustle, loose balls,
The
rebounding.
hustle, loose balls, the rebounding. You know, he
Hey, coach,
plays
Sometimes you
he
get all
plays
three of those. I
hey,
will
defense.
say
coach, do
though.
you know
Okay,
that's what
that's 4
every
things.
NBA player does, bro?
Really?
Hustle,
Not the games I
They're
saw.
supposed to, but in the
hustle.
postseason they all do.
That's what they're
NBA players
supposed
don't
to do.
hustle.
But no, not all of them do.
In the postseason they do though.
Nah, man, come on, man. I see now. I think you're just making up some stuff for Josh Hart.
No, I'm not. Bro, how many nights have we had that we complain about some of the effort these guys are doing? Like
This
no
team?
the boxing. No, I'm talking about you say NBA players in general.
No, I'm talking about. No, I don't care. What this team like? What does Josh Hart do for this team?
Culture.
Hey, look, man. I'm
Why are
not
you
going to.
laughing? Just because you hate him, you laughing.
I don't hate him.
He's a
I
culture
just
guy.
No,
I don't hate him. I'm speaking
what
from
is
the
he?
You're
perspective.
you're obviously looking for me to say something monumental. I told you all the things I said. So if you don't think it's enough, tell me that you don't think it's enough, or I'm stupid.
No, I'm
No,
Okay,
no,
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 don't
no,
just
no.
keep
no,
making me
no.
talk in circles. That's
First of all,
ridiculous.
come on, coach. You know you like talking in circles, bro. I saw you dancing the other day.
What?
Come on, man. So,
What?
but the thing is with Josh Hart, what I'm talking about is like on the floor, like the Josh Hart stuff. And I'm not knocking Josh Hart. What I'm saying is listen. Josh Hart is who he is, right?
Yeah.
And whether people like him or not, man, we just got to roll with it because he gonna be here.
Yep.
Right. But then, like, when people start saying stuff like he came down from heaven playing the harp and shit, and he helped an old lady across the street, you know what I'm saying? He was selling Girl Scout cookies at the mall. Josh Hart don't do all these things, coach.
I didn't say he did that.
You said 5 things, and then you mentioned 5 things that all NBA players do.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think all
Rebounding.
NBA's. We can
What
agree to
NBA player
disagree on
you
that
know
one.
don't rebound, coach?
Okay.
I was gonna
Rebound
say
at a high level for his position. Okay. Would you like me to be more exact? Is that you trying to be like
Nah, man. You don't have to appease me, and
he
I don't want to
pushes
be
the
appeased.
pace, fast
What I'm
break?
saying is, what I'm saying is like we have a bunch of guys that thrive in their role, right? But
mm,
but the place where I pause at is ironically, when we talk about guys that we like, we mention all the stuff that they do, and then when it comes to the players that we don't like, we're like, I just wish this cat would do much more stuff, even though he made the All-Star team for three times.
Well,
You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
say that.
I know you didn't. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in
Talking in
general.
general.
No, come on, coach. You know I'm a straight shooter, bro. If you said it, I would have said, Coach, you said such and such.
I
What I'm
know,
saying
but the
is,
thing is, you're asking. I don't even know what the hell your question was. To be honest with you,
I asked, what does Josh Hart do? Like, where's his value? And you mentioned 5 things that every NBA player does.
I'm
technically, all NBA players do all those things. So
Right.
he's doing it at a certain way, at a certain level, under certain circumstances that help our team somehow, some way.
Like the
I'm
thing.
I'm not a Josh Hart hater. I'm just looking at like his skill set and how if I'm looking like long term, like if we're competing for a finals, right? Sometimes some guys are situational. Like remember the finals when Draymond was playing terribly and they made him situational and they put him on the bench. Like and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. At some point, like when you see someone is situational, you have to be able to pull him and rein him in and use him at certain times. And we know that Tibbs is not doing that. Tibbs is gonna play that man 36 minutes in the playoffs. Where and some teams might exploit him, which is why I'm worried about how much money he makes and how intrinsic he is to what we do. I'm not thinking about the regular season. I'm thinking about how his game translates to winning at the highest level. That's my only gripe. I don't hate Josh Hart. I just want to see us win a championship. And
Ye-
teams will use every little thing to against this. And if Josh Hart's on the court, hypothetically speaking, you think Jalen Brunson's getting double bad right now. Wait till you get to the playoffs. Granted, Jalen Brunson is going to be great because he's great, but the floor spacing. The floor was so shortened tonight. Like it was so ridiculous when they had Precious and Josh Hart out there at the same time with a traditional center.
Dre,
It's tough. It's real tough.
in your opinion,
so he frustrated me a little bit too. But what I'm saying is so here are some things that I think Josh Hart does well, right? Josh Hart is excellent in transition defense and communicating in transition defense, right?
Oh yeah.
Team get the rebound, getting back. Josh Hart's going to get in the middle of the floor, direct traffic until somebody bigger comes along, and then he'll switch out to the perimeter, or he won't. Right. Another thing that Josh Hart is good at is rebounding out of space. Right. Like leaving his area and chasing down rebounds and loose balls. He's great at that. Bigs can't do that. Like bigs are not great out of space rebounders. If the ball is 10 to 15 feet away, they're not going to run down that ball. We saw Josh Hart save a loose ball from going out of bounds in this game.
Josh
Right?
Hart has great hands too, Freezy. Like he
Yeah.
catches everything.
Right.
No matter how arid the
well,
pass is,
and
he'll
he
catch
and
it.
he gets these body contorting like rebounds sometimes. Like he's twisting around and grabbing it with one hand, and
Right. And the other thing, one of the other things too that Josh Hart does well is Josh Hart understands. Now, it's frustrating to me at times as somebody who played and somebody who's watched for over 50 years, but Josh Hart understands who the hot hand is all the time on his team. Right? This is like nuance stuff. Like when Dante DiVincenzo is hot, I'll see him dribble away from Jalen Brunson and look for Dante. Right? A lot of NBA players won't do that. Right? They'll be either too selfish, like wanting to get their shot, or they don't understand the moment or how to get the ball to somebody else.
Mhm.
The other thing with Josh Hart too is Josh Hart is a great, and I'm saying this just in context. Josh Hart is great defending at the rim, right? I'm not saying he's Mutombo, but if going back to tonight's game as an example, Josh Hart contested 2 layups late in the game where Indiana could have cut the lead to 2, and Indiana's players missed 2 straight layups where Josh Hart contested. Right? And I know I might be saying it different than the way that you guys say it. Like I'm saying it specifically, and the chat may be saying it in general. What I'm saying is Josh Hart does have value to the team. Those 2 missed layups tonight where he contested at the rim. If those layups go, coach, if those layups go in, we're talking about a 2-point game.
Yeah.
Right? And now Indiana doesn't have to foul. Right? Now they can play out the possession. If the Knicks go down and miss, Indiana can come down and tie the game or win it on a 3-pointer. These are the things that I'm talking about when it comes to what we see in Josh Hart. And I know it's not always sexy, right? It's not. You know, sometimes he's gonna look like Farrah Fawcett, and sometimes he's gonna look like Marge Simpson, right? But the effort is still the same.
I'm like the only thing the only thing that concerns me is just I remembered I showed Freezie a stat in terms of like shot quality and shot percentage, right? And Josh Hart led the team in shot quality. Like he's getting booty butt naked shots, and he's shooting the worst on the team, and that concerns me because if you're not making teams pay for ignoring you on the perimeter to the extent that they ignore him, it's going to be an issue when you get into the playoffs further and further every round where Josh Hart's skill sets or the things that he's great at gets mitigated further because the further you go into the playoffs and you talk about like hustle, Miami interchanges guys that hustle. Like they get rid of guys that hustle and get more of them for $2 million.
Yeah.
So that's my gripe where I get worried about
So
what he does in the playoffs. Because when
my
we get
thing
into the
is,
playoffs, hold on, coach, let me finish. When we get into the playoffs, they're gonna do everything in their hand and their everything. Teams are gonna do everything they can to get the ball out of Brunson's hands. And when they do that, we have to make them pay with these wide open jumpers. And if you're getting A+ shot quality and you're shooting 31% on wide open threes, it's a problem. I think he probably sub 30% by now. He's been shooting terrible.
okay, but that's not what we're counting on Josh Hart for. So, and that's why he's a bench guy. Okay,
But
there's
he's
other
the first
things.
guy to come into a lineup where we get hurt
Okay,
when
that's
there's an
fine
injury.
because he comes in because he does other things too. Okay, there's been plenty of pieces to championship level teams that can't shoot.
There's a difference between shooting a lights out and just shooting average.
So what I was going to get at before trying to ask you was, and this is only a yes or no, and then I'm going to keep rolling after you say yes or no.
Mhm.
Do you think Jalen Brunson likes playing with him?
Of course he does. Of course he
Okay,
loves playing with him.
so if our best player thinks he's good enough for the team, then it's all right with me.
Giannis thinks
If
Thanasis
he
Antetokounmpo should have a roster spot. Does that mean he should have a roster spot in reality?
a
I'm
roster
just
spot doesn't,
that's an extreme
he's not
example.
saying, he's not telling the coach to let him start or play. Dude,
I'm,
you're comparing apples to oranges.
just like when Freezy says you shouldn't be able to make like moves to upgrade the roster. Josh Hart is included in that too. Like how Freezy feels about Dante, that's how I feel about Josh Hart.
When you have a person that's not a starter that leads the league in a pretty significant stat, I'm okay with shortcomings in other areas. So
I, what
Josh Hart
rebounding?
leads the
What
leagues
stat is that though?
of 6'4",
Rebounding 6 4 6.
under 6'5" players in rebounds.
Uh, this is my gripe. You can't tell me a contender that has a guard in their rotation that can't shoot. You can't tell me one. You can't tell me one contending team talking about going to be in the conference finals that has a guard. Well, guard. I put emphasis on guard that can't shoot or shoots that terribly, playing that many minutes. Usually, those
I'm
guys are
not doubting
situational.
this. I'm not doubting this. I wish he shot better. we can count on him offensively more.
I
But
just
there
wish
are
he got average. I don't even want
many
great.
other
I just
things he does
average.
that's above average. Is what I'm saying.
The
Okay,
rebounding
yes,
is what
every
he does. It's
team,
above.
if I want to agree with Freezie about yes, every player hustles in the NBA, and every NBA player does this, this, and this. But he does it at a higher level than some other people do. So
I don't like. I'm not saying he's this horrific basketball player. I think there's a point where it's like like this is only not like probably my only gripe with Tips. There's a point of diminished returns with him when you have your full complement of players. Like he doesn't need to play 28 minutes when everybody's healthy. Now, when we're in a situation where we're down guys, of course, yeah, you play. But when you have your full complement of guys, I think anything more than 22 minutes is kind of overkill for what he does in like a playoff scenario to me. To me, but
if
that's
we
just me thinking too far ahead.
if we don't blow an 8 or 10 point lead, or we're in almost a tie game, or we're down 2 or 3 and we're still in the game, when he gives OG or Randall or whoever much needed rest.
You can do that with 22 minutes, not 28 or 30. That's what I'm saying. Like,
So do you think because he's such a Tibbs guy that
Tibbs loves him.
he's getting more minutes than he should? I mean, now he's getting it because it's obvious we need
Yeah.
bodies.
I
But
think with
before,
Tibbs values, like remember where you were like, you think Dante should play more minutes, right? That's what
yeah,
you were saying. Who's the first guy that Dante goes to the bench
I
for
know,
when
and
we're
that's what I
healthy?
was saying. You
That
know, Josh
because
Hart was getting his minutes.
that's what Tibbs values more than anything. So
Yeah, I think this Josh Hart thing is a tad overstated.
it's too much.
And
It's too much.
not by coach. I'm just saying in general. I'm talking about the continuing conversation about Josh Hart. I
Yeah.
think the
All right.
fact that Precious Achua is here. Can we give Precious Achua some flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was wrong
can
about
we
him.
can we celebrate
I've
the
been
way that
waiting
man
on that.
played? Can we you know what, man? Because I had a talk with somebody, one of the OGs in Knicks universe. I ain't gonna say his name, but he's been around from the beginning, right? And we were talking, and I was like, yo, why is nobody giving OG and Anobi his flowers? Everybody's talking about, man, we played great, man. We've been hot. And bro, can we admit that OG Anunoby is a great NBA player right now in this moment? Now, he might not be the best, right? Can we admit that Precious Achua is hooping?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Major.
The Josh Hart thing, I get it. I get it. There are some connections. Coach, there are a lot of Josh Hart fans in the chat, bro. I don't
I
know if you
saw
one of them or not, but it's a lot of them in the chat. And there are a lot of Grimes fans in the chat. And basically what I'm saying is, yo, before OG and Precious got here, we were not having these conversations that we're having right now. We're not dreaming of champagne, caviar, and bubble baths in June. We were a team thinking, oh my God, man, Tibbs might not be the guy, man. What are we gonna do? RJ Barrett is regressing, and then OG and Precious Achua get here, and our whole outlook on our NBA mortality is different. Can we give Precious Achua some love? Right? Can we show Isaiah Hartenstein had like 45 rebounds on a bum foot.
19 rebounds, 8 offensive.
It's like we had like three guys on 15 or
I'm
more
tired of
rebounds.
seeing guys in the chat say it about iHeart. Still, what else does this man have to do? I still would rather have Mitch. Where's Mitch?
Why not
He's
just
hurt.
have both? Just have both.
He's
Oh,
hurt
You can
again.
have
That's
both.
where he is.
You can
yeah,
have
but don't poo poo what Mitch does either, though, Coach.
I'm
So
not.
Let's not
I'm
go there
tired of
near.
hearing that he needs to be in besides iHeart. That's what I'm tired of hearing. That's all. Of course, I want him on the team.
My frustration is that we were starting Jericho Sims over Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Right? That's always my frustration. And I told Dre one night that I think Jericho Sims is not an NBA center, but he's a jumbo wing defending big jumbo wings on the perimeter. And I got laughed at, and I probably should have, but now I'm watching Precious Achua do it, and there's no punchline. Right? Now, I'm not saying Jericho Sims is as good as a perimeter defender as Precious, but I think we should repurpose Jericho Sims. I think our centers should be Mitch and Hartenstein, in what order you want them in, I don't care. Right? Jericho Sims guards small centers like Nas Reed, big forwards like Giannis, right? And Jason Tatum. That's his job. Go out there and lock those guys down, right? Give guys some rest. That's what I think. And the reason why I say that, and as firmly as I say it, right? I'm saying it because of this. Did y'all not notice Precious Achua's defense tonight on Pascal Siakam? And they're about the same
Beautiful.
size. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Jericho Sims and
It was
and Precious are about the same size.
Coach is stupid.
It was. And if he would have hit one or two of them threes, whoo,
Right.
they didn't look like bad shots.
Like his form looks decent. It's just he's not consistent. He's just not a consistent shooter. It is what it is at this point.
Right.
I mean,
No,
at
it's
least
touch.
he's
It's touch.
he's got. Yeah. At least he was allowed to.
I think we're so desperate for offense that Tibbs lets him. And if you play defense like that, Tibbs gives you more leeway to
Right.
make mistakes on offense.
iHeart just gave up on it. Apparently, he
Like,
can do it. I think if
oh well, do what? What are you talking about, Coach? Go ahead.
pop a three once in a while.
I think he should, but
He gives up the ball to he's still too quick to kind of,
I think Tibbs just took that up out of his game. He's like, we're just
Yeah.
gonna focus on other guys that can shoot consistently from three. Just let them do it instead.
And the thing is, he's one of the best guys of finding the kick out.
Yeah.
You know,
But he has a bit of a 2-man game with Dante as well. Like he
Yeah.
had it with quickly, if you recall, like the 2-man game where he would kick it and it'll pinch it back out for like a corner three. You're seeing that being developed with Dante while Randall is out. Now Randall had that 2-man game developed that he used to have with Reggie Bullock and Fournier, and he was picking that up with Dante. And now I think some of those looks are coming between like Hartenstein and Dante right now while we're trying to make do without Randall. But
I just don't want to start hearing this. So, say during this run without Randall, we only lose like 2 games when he's out. Oh, I don't know. We should bring Randall back in. We have a good thing going. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same mentality.
you remember when the Grizzlies won a whole bunch of games without John Morant? People were like, "Oh, maybe they're better without John." No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No.
They're not. Well,
Maybe-
hey everybody, I gotta get out of here because I got a long day tomorrow, man. I gotta remodel some kitchens and stuff like that, man.
Damn.
So,
Friday.
I thank you everybody for coming through and rocking and everything, man. And we'll probably see y'all tomorrow at some point. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
All right, peace, Freezie.
LA.
Get that
Yeah,
good
man.
marble, Freezie.
Yeah, man.
Bob the Builder.
Yeah, man.